They ended up going and doing an onside kick, and then the Packers got screwed because of it, right? Now we're in a situation where, because it's 11 points and not 12, touchdown, 2-point conversion, field goal ties it. 2 touchdowns essentially wins it at this point. So hopefully the McManus extra point, doesn't cost him at the end of the day. But this game is still not over. Still not over at this point. Josh Albrecht in with me, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, as we broadcast live from Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, in a playoff game right here that really looked like it was going to be a blowout in the first half. It was 21-3, folks. 21-3, and you were feeling good about yourself at that point. And now all of a sudden, you look at this football game and you're like, oh my gosh, we're going to sweat it out again. You're up by 11, and I still feel like this thing isn't over at this point. So many things to talk about tonight. So many positives to talk about tonight from this game, right? Matthew Golden gets his first touchdown, breaks a couple of tackles to find the end zone. Josh Albrecht and I were screaming our heads off and going nuts when that one happened. You had Jordan Love looking like a Hall of Famer in the first half of this game, making great throws, everybody doing their job in the first half. Josh Jacobs finally looked healthy in this game. Bears just score a touchdown. So like I said before, it's not over. Zacchaeus with a touchdown from Caleb Williams. So now they'll go for 2 here, the Bears will, to try and make it a 3-point game with 4:18 to go. They're closer to the Packers right now than they were in the last game. They were down by 10 with a couple minutes to go in the last game. Plenty of time for the Chicago Bears here to still come back, tie it, and possibly win this game, which means that this Packers offense and Jordan Love are going to have to score again, and they're going to have to play keep away from the Chicago Bears here when they get this ball back. Now, this 2-point try coming up for the Bears is a big deal, right? Because if they don't get it, then they got to have 7. They got to have a touchdown and not a field goal. And you wonder how Jeff Hafley's defense will play differently at that point. And unfortunately, they got the 2-point conversion. So it's a 3-point game now with 4 minutes to go in this game. Hey, I need you to turn down the pot right there. No, not your mic pot, the other pot. Yep, there you go. Okay, so your thoughts, Josh Albrecht, on what you've seen tonight so far.
2 completely different games.
Yep.
2 completely different games. And no one should be surprised, because this is exactly what Packers-Bears always is. It has to be this frustrating. I don't understand why. The first half, was too good to be true. It seemed too good to be true. But the second half is just way too far the opposite. In the first 2 drives, they had 6 plays for 6 yards. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You do half of what you did in the first half, in the second half.
Yep.
The game's over. The game is all over. Now, to your point, Sparky, there's plenty of time left. There's way too much time left. All the momentum with Chicago. They only need 3 to tie it. They could do exactly what they just did and win the damn thing.
Yeah. That's exactly right. And win the damn thing. And see, that's the thing to me. Before the games started today, earlier this morning, NFL Network Ian Rappaport reported that the Green Bay Packers are extending Matt LaFleur regardless of the outcome. The Packers are extending Matt LaFleur at the end of the season. It does not matter what the outcome is. They're going to extend him, okay? And the other thing that Ian Rappaport added, which I'm assuming is because of what was told to him by whoever his source is that they want Matt LaFleur for a long time, is what Ian Rappaport said. For a long time in Green Bay. To which many of you hate the idea of Matt LaFleur getting an extension, hate the idea of having Matt LaFleur be the head coach. I'm looking at the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line, which is open as always for you. 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. Streaming live already on X and on YouTube at WI Sports Radio. But people are already swearing in the text messages about Matt LaFleur, which, again, if you swear, I cannot read that on the air. I hope you all understand that. We cannot read that at this point. But LaFleur is getting extended. It appears one way or the other. Now, can Ed Policy have a change of mind if they blow this game and blow a 21-3 lead going into halftime? I guess it's possible. I guess he could change his mind. But really, at the end of the day, folks, we should be thinking about, okay, how do the Packers win this game? Instead of swearing and being all mad at Matt LaFleur, and you could be mad at Matt LaFleur after the game's done. Right now, let's try and get some good stuff going towards the Green Bay Packers. Find some pixie dust to spray over Soldier Field.
Yo, where is it? Where is it, Sparky?
Gotta find some.
Oh, there it is!
See? There you go. See? We just had to ask for it. Romeo Dobbs.
I need to turn my mic down. I'm sorry.
You. Big play down the right sideline for Romeo Dobbs. There you go. There's your pixie dust. We asked for some pixie dust, and we got some pixie dust. That was a hell of a catch.
What a catch.
That was a one-handed grab by Romeo Dobbs down that right sideline. Big catch beating Gordon. Big play there. Again, so, if they win this game, they hold on to win this game, is everybody going to calm down about the offense not producing in the second half up until these two last drives? We all going to calm down and be like, you know what? It's football. It happens. They're not going to score on every single drive.
No, but they could score on more than they have in the second half.
Well, yeah. I mean, you end the first half with a missed field goal, which the first attempt, when they called the timeout, was good.
Right. He made it.
And then the second attempt, Wynn caught it, whatever happened. He missed it. And the snap and the placement, I don't think was that good either. I think the whole thing was all screwed up, to be honest with you. And then you come out in the second half, and the big indicator coming out of the second half was when you go 1, 2, 3 punt, I'm like, uh-oh. That's not exactly how you want to see the start to the second half. Because, I mean, if you think about it, they go down and punch in a touchdown there and get to 28 right away to start the third quarter. That might have been the final punch to the ribcage of the Chicago Bears, and that might have been it. Instead, the Bears continuously give you chances, right? The Bears are like, here, finish us. Here, finish us. And the Green Bay Packers simply would not take advantage of multiple opportunities and the second half to take care of them. The defense, say what you want. I know 24 points is 24 points, but this defense has played more than well enough to have won this game and put this game away a while ago, had the offense done a little bit more there to start the second half. Matthew Golden just had a big catch, another big catch for a first down. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I needed to see during the season, Josh Albrecht. No. Where was this during the season for Matthew Golden?
See, and this is what playoff football is, though, right? We can look at this and we can say, where was Golden all year? But did you want Matthew Golden to give you these highlights in weeks 1 through 16, or did you want him to do it in the wild card round? Right? It all comes to this.
That's fair.
I'd much rather have what he's done tonight happen just tonight.
Right.
And what happened during the season happened during the season.
That's fair. No, I mean, that's fair. I think most Packer fans would be like, Josh, I want them both. I want touchdowns in the regular season. I want touchdowns in the wild card.
Freaking die. Yeah, of course you do.
I want it all, Josh Albrecht. I want it all. I want it all to go my way, right? Jordan Love tonight has 4 touchdowns, tied for the most by a Packers quarterback, and I believe in a postseason game. Rodgers did it twice. So one more gets him 5, and he owns the single game record for touchdowns in a postseason game in Packers history. If he can throw one more touchdown here for the Packers, who are up 3 with 3:07 to go. The stress and the anxiety of Josh Albrecht just at full tilt right now. If you're watching live on X and YouTube right now, just remember, no swearing as we are live streaming. No matter what happens, do not swear at the end of the day. That should be a pass interference flag. He pushed him.
Nothing.
He clearly pushed Musk.
See, this is it.
Clearly
this is what I'm talking about.
That's all right. It's 3rd down and 10, 3:02 to go.
It's all right. Did you hear that, everyone? It's all right.
It's all right.
Sparky said
it'll be fine.
Sparky. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. You know that guy? He's the one that said it's all right.
It'll be fine. It's going to be fine. Yeah, well, to me, it looked like he pushed him or at least touched him. You know the other thing that's crazy about this game? This refereeing crew coming in has thrown like the most flags of any refereeing crew coming into this game, and there were like no flags in the first half of this game.
They knew it. They saw those reports, and they went, all right, and then they went the complete opposite way. They were like, you're going to get on us for throwing flags? Fine. We're going to stuff them in our pocket and leave them there.
They've also thrown a bunch of roughing the passer flags as well, I believe. So this is something here where you don't want this game to come down to a bad call by a referee, right? We talked about it this week of don't let the referee determine a game. Make sure this game is put away so a referee's call or non-call can't screw you at the end. And legitimately, you also don't want to put this in the hands of Brandon McManus or Cairo Santos at the end of the day for the Chicago Bears, right? Make them have to score touchdowns and not field goals in order to win it. A touchdown here, now, I don't want to jinx anything, but a touchdown here to make it 10 with 3 to go is about the same situation you were in the last time.
Yeah, right. We've been there.
So you still don't feel comfortable even if you get 7.
But get me there first.
Yes. I agree. Get us there first, and then we'll figure it out at that point. Did they throw a flag? They did throw a flag. Yeah, the play was dead. Okay.
And obviously no timeout was called.
Oh, yeah. How do you get a delay of game coming out of a Packer timeout? Now this stuff, I can't defend Matt LaFleur on this stuff. You just called a timeout. How in the world do you get a delay of game call out of a damn timeout?
Oh, it's okay. It was just on the biggest third down of the season. That's now 3rd and 15.
There should not be ever. That should never, ever happen. There's just no excuse for it. I don't care if you're in Chicago, if you're at Lambeau, if you're at Arrowhead, if you're in Seattle with that loud crowd noise, whatever it may be. That should never, ever, ever be the case. At any point in time, that should always be something you get up to the line and snap the ball. So now it's 4th and 15 coming up after Love sailed the ball over Romeo Doubs' head. So now what?
Now you got to kick the field goal.
But that field goal is going to be a long field goal. If
it was 4th and 15, you can't go for this.
I'm not saying they're going to go for it. I'm just saying that's a long field goal after that 5-yard delay of game penalty. Yeah, I mean, his long is what, 52 yards? Where is this from? I mean, this has got to be 44. Oh, that's not that bad. Okay, I feel better.
He still has to make it.
I feel better about this. Yeah. I feel better about this, and he missed it. He missed it.
Yeah, he feels better about it, everyone.
Well, I did. Was it 52? I wasn't 52.
Unbelievable.
See, this is what I'm saying, man. Sometimes you got that pixie dust just all over you, and it's everything just breaks your way, and the luck breaks your way. And you feel at some point, if you're the Green Bay Packers, like, here we go again, Josh Albrecht, right? Aren't you feeling that way as a Packer fan right now?
Oh, no, I felt that way 6 minutes ago.
Nikolay Law talking text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Now, see, look at this. Who is that? Who is in the thing here? TV fanatic. Fire Matt LaFleur. Fire Matt. Love scared to run for 2 yards, and I hate kickers.
Yeah, there was a play earlier where Love had room. He had room to run. He needed 2 yards, and he just threw the ball away. And now, just like before, you put your defense, this Packers defense, which has just been a huge letdown, right? You know that's your weak point.
But his defense has played well enough, I think. If the offense would have done anything in the second half.
Right. But I'm saying they've exceeded your expectations for this game.
Yes.
100%. But this offense is what was supposed to carry this defense in this game. Now, the defense has to be there after all the momentum shifts right back to the Bears. Now, the defense has to win the game. You're putting the defense that's lost all these guys that we've talked about for the last 6 weeks. Now, it's all on them. Awful. Absolutely awful.
Not good. Not good at all. And you don't have Adrian Cooper out there.
Nope.
I mean, you lost Adrian Cooper, who is your best defensive player. Adrian Cooper was a beast early in this game, all the way up until the point where he got hurt. And when he left, I tweeted out, like, I don't care about the Nixon flag. Like, you knew that was going to happen at some point with Keyshawn Nixon doing something dumb. That's just what happens with Keyshawn Nixon. But the Cooper deal, I was like, man, that's a big, big loss if you're the Green Bay Packers. And then Hopper gets the interception. I was like, okay, well, all right. Hopper made a play immediately as soon as that happened. Man. 2:07 to go in this one, and the Packers have to call another timeout because they were not organized. Had guys running off late and everything else. So Packers up 27-24. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer with you. Josh Albrecht over there, other side of the glass. We're rolling to midnight tonight here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. If you're listening to us in Wausau on the game, or Duluth Superior on the game, or maybe you're in Green Bay or the Appleton area. That flamethrower, I think, reaches almost north side of Milwaukee, almost 99.7 WNFL, or in Milwaukee on 1250 AM or 105.7 FM The Fan. Thanks for listening. Don't forget, you can always stream us at wisportsradio.com or live stream us on X or on YouTube at WI Sports Radio. Available there on Instagram. You can find us on social media. You can find us on Facebook as well. Bisaccia is going to take fault in this game for Brandon McManus. And I just, in my opinion, I don't know how Bisaccia gets blamed for a kicker missing kicks. I mean, Bisaccia can't make the kick for the kicker. Okay, Bisaccia didn't sign McManus to the long-term deal.
Right. That's true. But it's been more, too, than just the kicks. How many times have we seen that the special team has failed and allowed the Bears to start from the 35, 40?
Duvernay had one big return on him for sure. Yeah.
Two.
Yeah, two big returns. Yeah, you're right. So Josh Albrecht over there, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer here, Green Bay Football Postgame Show, powered by Lakeland University. Packers up 3, 2-minute warning. We'll continue back after this as we broadcast live from Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Can you feel it? It's the
All right, so since we were gone, Green Bay football postgame show powered by Lakeland University, the Chicago Bears scored a touchdown to DJ Moore wide open. Carrington Valentine, not where he was supposed to be. Now it becomes, can Jordan Love go have a moment? Can Jordan Love go win this football game? That now is the question. 31-27, Bears over the Green Bay Packers with a minute 43 to go in this one. So here you go. Here's Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love's moment if they want to have it. Right here. This is your moment. Everybody that wants LaFleur canned right now and all mad at Matt LaFleur, here is your moment, Matt. Here is your moment to be like, yeah, you know what? We're going to make sure we go out on a good note here and win this thing. So we'll see. We'll see how this all plays out. There's a part of me that is happy that they scored the touchdown when they did, because the more time they took off the clock and less time the Packers had, if they would have scored that later, the Packers wouldn't have had a real chance to go down the field and score. Now you've got a minute 36, Josh Albrecht, in order to come down here and potentially win this football game at the end of the day against a Bears defense that you carved up in the first half, and you've had a couple of moments against here in the second half on the last two drives as well. I don't feel too bad about this one right now as far as the Packers' chances of going down and scoring.
You're insane.
I feel okay.
They've been outscored 28-6 in the second half.
I understand.
28-6.
I know.
What makes you think in any way, shape, or form, oh yeah, no, I believe in this team
The
right now.
last time I asked for pixie dust, he had Dobbs down the right sidelines. Remember that? I said,
One timeout.
Little pixie dust right here.
One timeout.
That's all right. It takes one pass to score a touchdown.
And they need to get in the end zone.
Yes. One pass can get in the end zone and win this football game for the Green Bay Packers. One pass is all it takes. And if he gets one pass to work, they're good. If he doesn't, then they're going to lose the game, and that's going to be the end of it. Now, I don't know who's going to be the scapegoat in all this. We're going to find out, right, once this is over. Nikolai Law talking text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250.
I gotta say,
I already got a text message from the 770 who apparently doesn't know what happened earlier today, who says, you collection of clouds still think they could keep LaFleur. Homers, you know you are. No, I know the report from the NFL Network, you idiot. And Ian Rappaport said, regardless of outcome, they are extending him. That was a drop by Romeo Dobbs on 3rd and 7. So now 4th down is coming up. So, again, I understand that you probably don't have NFL Network in your house or whatever the case may be on your side of the world. But Ian Rappaport said it this morning, regardless of outcome, doesn't matter if they win, doesn't matter if they lose, they are extending or working to extend Matt LaFleur as soon as the season is over. So you can be mad about it. That's fine. Be mad. Don't be mad at me. Just telling you what the report said earlier today. And am I going to be upset if they extend Matt LaFleur? Not really. Not going to be upset if they extend Matt LaFleur. I think a lot of Packer fans will be, because again, the expectation in Green Bay is different than it is everywhere else at this point, right? Matthew Golden, big first down catch. Boy, Matthew Golden all of a sudden being the guy a little bit here in the fourth quarter for Jordan Love. And he got out of bounds. That was critical too, with a minute to go in this one. But again, the expectation is what? Go to the Super Bowl. The expectation is win Super Bowls. It's title town. We're supposed to bring the Lombardi trophy back to Green Bay. That's what this is all about. And how are you going to do that if you're the 7th seed 3 years in a row and you're not winning more than you're losing in the playoffs with Jordan Love at quarterback, right? That's a whole big deal too.
It's so much more than that, Sparky.
Is it though? I don't think it is.
Yes. This team has faced a ton of adversity all year long. All year long. The injury bug has been crazy. Okay. We've all acknowledged it.
Yep.
But yet these players have put this team in a position to win games. They did it against the Bears before. They did it. They did it against the Bears tonight. And yet then you come out and you have a performance like this team put on in the second half of this game, of a huge game.
Huge game.
How do you not say, how can you possibly say, oh, well, Matt LaFleur, I think it's fine. He comes back. How? You cannot have a collapse like this. And this is not the first time that Matt LaFleur has had a collapse like this and just be okay with it.
Yep,
You
no
can't.
doubt. I mean, now you just had a drop by Jaden Reed on a ball that would have got the Packers down to about the 20-yard line, hit him in the hands, and he couldn't come up with it. Jordan Love slapping his hands in frustration. So now you're at like 50 seconds to go in this one. It's tough, man. It is tough. Midfield, still plenty of time. I mean, plenty of time to score a touchdown, but you've got to get first downs too, right? I mean, that's all part of it. And the Packers get another first down as time ticks away. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, Josh Albert, Green Bay Football Postgame Show powered by Lakeland University as we broadcast live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Is it starting to snow there? Is this starting to flurry a little bit maybe in Chicago? I mean, before that game, it looked like a snow globe. The field was covered in snow, and then you check back in like, I don't know what it was, 20 minutes, maybe later, half hour later, and all of a sudden the snow is cleared off. The snow finally stopped, and for the most part, the wind hasn't been a factor either. It's been pretty calm, I think, on the football field, a lot more calm than it was the last time they played at Soldier Field. The last time they played there, you could definitely tell that the wind was playing a factor in the football game. Again, if you want to hop aboard and discuss as this thing is playing out here, 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. You can also tweet at us or watch us on X or on YouTube at WI Sports Radio. Anytime you miss a show or a podcast or anything like that, just go to wisportsradio.com. Again, wisportsradio.com. Jordan Love with a big play that time to Jaden Reed. That gets the ball down to about the 22, 23-yard line.
0 timeouts remaining.
Well, and now somebody is down for the Packers.
Yes.
Is that Jordan Morgan down for the Packers, or is that
be.
Belton? I saw a 7 rolling around on the ground, but I couldn't tell who that was in there. I still can't tell because we don't have the sound on, obviously, so we can't really tell who is out there and who is not.
Yeah, they're covering him up. He's still down. You got to refresh me on the rules of this too. So if they can't stop the clock,
they already ran the 10-second run.
Okay,
so it went from 32 seconds to 22 seconds with that injury. So now not only are injuries screwing you from not being able to keep people on the field, now it just costs you 10 seconds in a pivotal situation that they're at right now. Just
keep in mind that this all the clock management, the sloppy getting out.
Ryan, by the way, is the one being helped off the field.
Perfect.
So now you're on your third center.
The timeouts, the lack of timeouts, the awful use of timeouts in the second half, all of that playing a role too. You feel a lot better from where they are with 22 seconds and 3 timeouts, even 2 timeouts.
So 22 seconds. Each average play in the NFL is normally around 7 seconds. So that means you probably have about a chance for 3 plays or so if you want to do it. Oh, my gosh.
God.
He got hit as he threw the ball. Love did. That caused it to wobble a little bit. He had Watson. That was a touchdown. He had him. He absolutely had Christian Watson cross the middle of the field. But as he went to throw the ball, his arm got hit, and it kind of came out like a duck a little bit. Now, that play took 9 seconds. So, you're going to have 2 plays here to get into the end zone because field goal does not matter. It's 31-27.
And you cannot stop the clock.
Correct. Cannot stop the clock. 31-27. Bears over the Packers right now. And obviously, you want to talk about the ultimate prevent defense for the Chicago Bears right now. This is it. Did they just get a delay of game call on them? You got to be kidding me.
Are you serious?
Pretty sure that was a delay of game call. So now you're going to roll them back 5 more yards. False start on Rasheed Walker. Again, we talk about shooting yourself in the foot in the last game, which is exactly what the Packers did.
Who do you want that to fall on, Sparky? Who does that fall on?
Rasheed Walker, man.
No.
What do you mean?
No.
You're the guy that false started. Who else is it going to fall on?
You have to have your team not make these dumb mistakes. You have to put your team in the best position to win by still having timeouts.
Yeah, that's fair. Absolutely, that's fair. Jordan Love just went to throw the ball and got knocked out from behind him. So we are at 2 seconds, 1 play to go for the Green Bay Packers. It was a hell of a play. 98 hit it out just as he was coming forward with the ball. So that'll be an incompletion. So now it all comes down to one play for the Packers and the Bears. I don't know what Ben Johnson is asking. They didn't give it a fumble, did they? I'm assuming they gave it an incompletion. Yeah, third down. That's what I thought. Because it was a fumble and that ball got fumbled forward. Oh, they reset the play clock. They reset the clock to 7. So technically now, depending on if you get a quick sideline route, which you're going to be able to have, you get a quick sideline route on 3rd and 15. That sets you up for one more play potentially,
or
to do something at the end.
Or you can fumble.
Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. He's running around. It's gonna be the last play now. No matter what happens, he's trying to make something happen. Throws it, and it's over.
And that's the game.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Nicolay Law Talk and text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Streaming live on X and on YouTube at WI Sports Radio. Does this one hurt worse than the last one?
Of course it does.
Because it's a playoff game or because of how it went down?
Because it's a playoff game. Because
I don't know. You're up 21-3. I feel like they blew this one more than they blew the last one.
No, I don't think that, because you still had more time on the clock. There was still, you were up 21-3, but with a whole half to go. Whole lot of ball game left. The difference is that this game meant everything. This one was the one to keep going.
Yeah. Well, season's done. Don't got to worry about anything else. Now, again, we're open. Let's go. Let's take your calls and text. Josh Albrecht over there. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer here. 414-677-1250. Nicolay Law Talk and text line 414-677-1250. Would love to hear from you. Text messages as well. Here we go. 414. So, Sparky, should we be thankful that Matt LaFleur coached us to this disaster? He needs to be fired. It's not going to be. Did everybody not see the Ian Rappaport report today? Am I the only one that saw it? Immediately, I was right the other day when I said our standards, and Matt LaFleur needs to be held to those. Time to admit it. 414. Ian Rappaport said this morning, regardless of outcome of game, they want to sign Matt LaFleur to an extension. They want him here. I believe the quote was, for a long time, is what Ian Rappaport said today. So again, I just want you all to understand what the report was. Regardless of what I feel or regardless of what you feel, unless something completely changes, this game completely changes that policy's mind of, nope, I'm done with him. Unless that happens, no. 414, text in, epic collapse by the Green Bay Packers. 262, fire the coach and the defensive coordinator. Oh, people want Jeff Hafley fired now. All right. It's going to be one of those nights, I got a feeling. It is Green Bay Football Postgame Show, powered by Lakeland University. Sparky, Josh Albrecht in for the Tommy Wirtz, who is off tonight. Also, we'll have additional programming, local programming, tomorrow morning from 8 until 10. Tommy Wirtz and Mitch Thunder Nellis will be here tomorrow morning to take your calls, your text messages, and all that fun stuff. So should we call it the special edition of the Mason Crosby Show without Mason Crosby? Is that the way to do it? I don't know. So tomorrow morning, 8 to 10, we'll have 2 more hours of local programming as well. That was decided there in about the fourth quarter of the game. Let's go to Lamont in Milwaukee. You're up first on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. What's up, Lamont?
How y'all doing, man? I don't even know where to start at, but I'll start here though. Again, you're controlling the game, completely dominating the game. The Packers are a first half team. All you have to do is get up into them. You got to pressure them. You got to be physical with them, and they're fold. I don't want to hear anything about these injuries. Yeah, injuries played a part in what's going on. Everybody has injuries. But here's the problem. The problem is that when I seen Caleb Williams had that fire in his eye in the second half, I didn't see any of that from Jordan Love to lead these dudes to a victory. I didn't see any of that from LaFleur to lead these dudes to victory. He's a soft coach. Jordan Love is a soft football player. He has no fire in him. Matt LaFleur got to go. Jordan Love need to go see the odds because he needs a heart. There is no way.
Uh-oh. I lost them. That was my fault. Sorry, I lost you, Lamont. That was my fault. I tried to do something and I screwed up and I dropped you. All right, so Lamont starts things off and says, hey, man, need to get rid of Matt LaFleur. Jordan Love needs to go find a heart. This is going to be brutal. You all are just going to be just ruthless tonight, I got a feeling. Trell, north side of Milwaukee, you are next here on the Nicolay Law Talking Text line, Green Bay Football Postgame Show. What's up?
Can you blame any of us, Sparky?
No, I can't. But again, I mean, going into this thing, we were talking about it during the week. Like you could tell and feel that this Bears team is very similar to the year where they went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Colts, where everything that can go their way goes their way. It's been happening all year for them. And the Packers, beset by injuries, have never had that feeling with them.
No, I can't agree with you on that. I can't use injuries as an excuse. The Packers had a 21-3, and they could have had, if Matt LaFleur would have called that timeout like 20 seconds earlier than he did, they could have had another touchdown and been 28-3 and getting the ball at the halftime. He's got no killer switch. He's never had it since he's been here. I've been complaining about this since Aaron Rodgers was taking us to the playoffs with him. That's not going to change with this guy. We've seen enough of that film as far as about him with his teams and how they perform in the playoffs. And it's just not good enough. I don't care how fancy of a play caller, play designer, or whatever you want to call it. As far as being a leader of a football team, I don't want that guy to lead my team. I cannot see the Packers win the Super Bowl with him. So why would I dedicate 4 to 5 more years with this guy? I'm serious, Sparky. Like this is not fan overreaction. We just lost 5 games in a row, and we're sitting here still blaming it on injuries.
Yeah, that's right. You lose one of the best pass rushers. You lost one of the best pass rushers in football. You lost the best tight end in football. Or at least Tucker Kraft was playing like it at that point. I mean, it's not like you lost a couple of cornerback and a nickelback and a backup defensive tackle. Mm-hmm. You've got a ton of guys out and very important guys out at that. And you were without Jordan Love for part of it.
Sparky, we played the Baltimore Ravens and didn't make the playoffs at the end of the season.
Yes.
They came and whooped our tail at home.
Yes.
And we played the Minnesota Vikings who didn't make the playoffs. No excuses. No. I don't care how many injuries you got. No excuses. So you telling me that we were supposed to be a Super Bowl contender, and because we lose
Micah Parsons, yes,
because we lose Micah Parsons and some other injuries, that just takes us to a team that the way the Packers were, they shouldn't even make the playoffs.
Trell,
right?
you listen to every post-game show. You call into almost every post-game show. The night that Micah Parsons got hurt, I told Tommy Wirtz, I don't think they'll win another game. And Tommy said I was being way over the top, and surely they'll win another game or two.
They didn't. But
they didn't.
I agree with you on that because I said the same thing. But guess what? When it comes down to whose fault is that? Who's the head coach of that football team?
Sure, it's Matt LaFleur. Absolutely.
All right.
So, I mean, but again,
to the Bears.
Absolutely.
There's no getting away from that.
There's not.
Bears in the playoffs.
Yes, in the
There's
playoffs.
no getting away from that.
First time they've lost to the Bears in the playoffs since I think the games were played at Wrigley Field or something like that. Thanks for the call, Trell. Appreciate it. All right. People are lined up. People are mad. I get it. I got one coming in here on the 414. All mad at me. You called this fan spoiled and took exception to my point about how limping into the playoffs isn't good enough. What happened to the Sparky who raged about John Hammond and 8 seed or bust? Should Matt LaFleur be fired? Not what Rap Sheet says. Should he be fired? No. No, he shouldn't. No, he shouldn't. Let me explain something to you. If Giannis is hurt every year in the playoffs, should John Horst have been fired? Because he can't stay healthy and he's hurt every year in the playoffs? Does that fall on John Horst? Does it? Because, I mean, based on your logic on what just happened, y'all want people fired knowing you lost great players along the way. Understand this. If this team would have won in the playoffs with Micah Parsons, with Tucker Kraft, with Devontae Wyatt, and lost like this, then yes, I'd be all on board. Fire Matt LaFleur, get rid of him. But when he went down, you knew you did not have another pass rusher that could get to the quarterback. You knew it, and I knew it. And guess what? We were all correct. They don't have one. The other thing that we all knew was that they couldn't get turnovers. They kept dropping balls. Tonight, Carrington Valentine caught a ball, And what happened? Everybody was livid because it cost him 20-plus yards if he would have just missed the ball on purpose, which would have been a headsy play by Valentine not to catch it. But I'm sure in Carrington Valentine's mind, he's like, man, we've been getting ripped all season for not catching these damn things. I'm going to catch this. And he does, and it costs him. Because that was a fourth down play at the end of the day. Valentine did not play well. Got confused multiple times in this one. Nicolay Law Talking text line 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. If you're on hold, we'll get to you coming up next. Green Bay Football Postgame Show, powered by Lakeland University, live from Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky with you.
go to the air and dumps it off to an eligible lineman. And look at it, and then the ball comes loose. And the Bears thought they had it for a moment, then it goes out of bounds. With all crazy stuff, they went to Darian Kennard on a tackle eligible, lost it, and it rolls out of bounds off Jervon Dexter Sr.
That literally sums up the entire day for the Green Bay Packers. It really does. Even when they had things go right, they ended up blowing up in their face before the actual play was over. It was a good play. He threw it to Kennard. Kennard was open. He ran over multiple dudes on his way and then fumbled the football. Now, the Packers got the break and went out of bounds, but still ugly. Highlight courtesy of Amazon Prime, Fox 6 here locally here in Milwaukee. Bears over the Packers 31-27. Packers season is over. Jordan Love 24 of 46, 323, 4 touchdowns, tied for the most in a game, in a postseason game in Packers history. Quarterback rating of 103.8. Josh Jacobs 19 for 55, 2.9 yard average for him on the day. Romeo Doubs 8 for 124 and a touchdown. Matthew Golden 4 for 84 and a touchdown. That by far the best game of his rookie career. Jaden Reed 4 for 43 and a touchdown. Christian Watson 3 for 36 and a touchdown. As far as targets go, 11 to Doubs, 7 to Reed, 7 to Watson, 5 to Matthew Golden. Those were your leading target getters on the day. Let's go to Brian. You're next in Muskego here on your Green Bay Football Postgame Show powered by Lakeland University. What's up, Brian?
Sparky, this is just too much to take. This was the 5th game this year where LaFleur coached the first half like Bill Walsh, came out in the second half like Dan Devine.
Yep.
It just blows my mind that it's like he plays to get the lead, and then he does whatever he can to hold on. At least 4 or 5 drives in that second half, he started off with a run up the middle. They're always in 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10. But I have one question for you, Sparky. I've known you a long time. On 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, why are they always going 40 yards downfield for the touchdown?
That's Jordan Love. Jordan Love's making that. Jordan Love's making that call on where he's going with the ball. Now, maybe the design of the play is the first option, is that deep route one way or the other. But I mean, the thought process obviously is they're playing up to stop the run or a short pass. So then you take advantage of them at that point and take that deep shot down the field. Thanks for the call, Brian. The other thing, too, is, folks, may I remind you, during the Mike McCarthy era, we complained about the same thing. He gets a lead and then he gets conservative. During the Mike Holmgren era, I remember talking about that with listeners. Same complaints. He gets the lead and then he gets conservative. Brent in Cedarburg, you're next here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. What's up, Brent?
How does LaFleur survive this? That collapse in the second half is just one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. And then McManus, how have we not talked about him yet? He cost us that game.
Yeah, he definitely cost
he
you.
did.
Everybody's focused on firing LaFleur and not talking about anything else. So
I think both can be true. I mean, LaFleur had him as his kicker.
Well, LaFleur, Goody, Bisaccia, whoever made that call. I don't remember anybody calling into this show when they gave him the contract and saying, oh my God, Brandon McManus sucks. I can't believe they gave him that contract. In fact, I don't remember one person calling in criticizing the Packers for giving McManus the contract when it happened, if we remember correctly.
Yeah, but he cost us the game.
Well, yeah,
tonight.
he did. No, I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying,
he cost us other games this year too. It's
coming into the game, he had hit 13 consecutive field goals coming into the game tonight. They were talking about that on the radio broadcast. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Brent, you're on hold. We'll get to you coming up on the other side. Packers lose, season over. Bears beat them 31-27. We will have some more time for you to vent tomorrow morning as well. From 8 to 10 with Mitch Thundernellis and Tommy Wirtz. But this show rolls on up until midnight tonight, so plenty of time for you to get aboard. We have Lamont, CB, Anthony, KJ, all you guys coming up next.
Show them what time it is.
The game is over. What went right and what went wrong? It's time for the Green Bay Football Postgame Show, brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. Let's get to your hosts of the show, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer and Tommy Wirtz on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Tommy Wirtz off today. I think he knew they were going to lose. I'm not quite sure. He took off today. Josh Albrecht in here from inside Wisconsin Sports. And Trevor Thomas here. Hear them every weekday morning from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network as we broadcast live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Packers come up on the losing end to the Chicago Bears, 31-27. Packers season is officially over. Everybody wants Matt LaFleur fired. I have not seen anybody yet that has said that they don't want Matt LaFleur fired at this point. Checking with Josh Albrecht momentarily, get some good comments maybe from the Dugout YouTube chat and X chat over there, because that is blowing up. Lots of people talking over there. Let's go to Anthony in Muskego. You're next on the Nicolay Law talking text line. What's up, Anthony?
Sparky, man, that might be the most dejected I've been after a Packers game probably since the 49ers playoff game in 2001. I mean, I don't know what it is about this team where they find a way to have the most crushing playoff losses imaginable.
Yep.
But we did it again. We did it again. And it doesn't even matter about the Bears. I mean, it sucks that it's against the Bears, and it gives them for them, it's their Super Bowl. Not only do they have this, they're having a great year, let's be honest, but they've won all these games in remarkable fashion. They did it again. We left the door open. Unfortunately, once again, everyone's going to call for Matt LaFleur's head. I actually, for the most part, don't see it as Matt LaFleur's fault. But what I do see is that Rich Bisaccia is the most overpaid special teams coordinator there is, because we keep getting gashed. I mean, you can't necessarily blame him when a kicker misses a kick, but in every way possible, our special teams finds a way to underperform every single year. We need to we need to fire that guy because he's the most overpaid assistant head coach, special teams coordinator in the league.
And he's the associate head coach on top of it.
Correct. And why? And what is he actually bringing to the table? Maybe he's a great guy. The players like him. Well, guess what? That's not translating to success on the field. I'm tired of that. And, you know, there's a lot of blame to be had here. There was a lot of low IQ play from the Packers. Carrington Valentine, I don't know, that guy got burned so many times tonight. And then even when he makes the play, he got that interception, right? He pads his stats. Well, all he did was cost the team field position by doing that. And you know, it's not like he's the only one to blame. There's a lot of blame to be had. You know, the sad part is, Steve, is that the Packers had this game. They should have easily advanced. And a bunch of mistakes, once again, for the second game in a row against the Bears, they found a way to lose.
And that is why a lot of people want LaFleur gone, because when you continuously do the same type of dumb stuff, somebody is going to be the scapegoat on this thing. And that's why most people want it to be Matt LaFleur. Anthony, thanks for the call. I get it. I understand. Again, they shot themselves in the foot again. Like if I come on Monday, right? Green and Gold Monday, last one of the year inside Wisconsin Sports, 6 to 9 with Josh Albrecht, Trevor Thomas, 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. Rami will be insufferable. Noon to 2, Mason Crosby show with Mitch Thunder Nellis, brought to you by Verizon. Our show in the afternoon with myself, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. And then Wisconsin Sports Wrap Up from 5 to 6 with Tommy Wirtz. If we asked on any of those shows, did the Packers lose that game or did the Bears win that game? I think a majority of us would say that the Packers lost that game more than the actual deal of the Bears winning that game. And that tells you all you need to know. Like when the Packers have lost to the 49ers, let's say, right? And they get ran all over. Yeah, the Niners kicked your butt. That's what happened, right? They won the game. That's how that played out. This one here, I mean, the Bears multiple times try to give you opportunities to close them out in the second half, Josh, and they just would not take it.
That's all they did. That's all they did. And this isn't the first time. That's why this is so frustrating, Sparky. This is because the Packers all season long literally before Tucker Kraft got hurt. Go back that far, and you will see a team that had the opportunity to constantly close out games, and they didn't. They always kept them close. They kept the games close all season long, and they did it again here when they didn't have the pieces to get away with missed opportunities. They just didn't. They had to take advantage of everything, and they didn't. They made mistakes. They came out so flat in the second half.
They did.
I mean, incredibly flat.
Like they thought they had it won almost.
And that's why for the 3,000 people watching us, I don't even know, million people watching Matt LaFleur right now that are saying Matt LaFleur has got to go. That's why you can't have your team come out with that type of lead and then have the ball. Can you imagine if the Packers came out in the start of the second half and they put another touchdown on the board?
It's over.
It might have been over right then.
It
You had an
could have been
opportunity
over.
to come out within the first 5 minutes of the second half and end the game. And instead, they got negative 2 yards
let me ask
on
you
that
this.
drive.
Josh, let me ask you this. So is it Matt LaFleur's offense the issue, or is it 2 games now in a row where Dennis Allen made adjustments and Matt LaFleur couldn't counterpunch?
It's still Matt LaFleur. That's still Matt LaFleur. It's either Matt LaFleur's offense or it's Matt LaFleur's inability to adjust.
Correct.
Either way, that's what's on the head coach. You got to, and you already knew coming into this game names that were out there. Okay.
Oh, sure.
And so for this
Harbaugh is
support,
still there.
Yeah. And he said for a reason. Did he not say for a reason he's not making a decision until after wild card weekend?
And Josina Anderson said that watch both of these games today, implications could come out of it. But then Ian Rappaport had said that regardless of outcome, Ed Policy was extending Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this all plays out. Nicolay Law talking text line 414-677-1250. On the 612, I lean towards keeping Matt LaFleur. I believe blowing that lead, he has to go now. Also, only 3 head coaches have ever won a Super Bowl outside the first 5 years as head coach for their first quarterback, I think is that what he meant? Time to move on. He can't call full 4 quarters or can't get his team to play all 4. His third quarters are so bad. Matt in Minneapolis. Yep, third quarters are definitely an issue.
Can we just quickly talk about this report from Ian Rappaport too?
Sure.
The timing on this
was this morning.
Was it not even worse that it came out before the game? Even if it's true, I don't want to hear that.
I'm pretty sure that would be something that Green Bay wanted out there to stave off any type of fans being mad after a loss.
Did it work?
I'm just telling you. That to me,
I see a lot of angry fans.
I know, but that's me. That's Ed Policy going, I don't care what happens. Y'all can be mad all you want. If they lose, I still want them. I don't want this being addressed, in a post-game press conference about, oh my God, Matt, are you worried about your job? Here, I'm going to put it out there and tell you he doesn't have a job to be worried about. Hop in 414-677-1250. I'll get to you as quickly as I can here. KJ in West Allis, you're next on the Nicolay Law Talking text line on the Green Bay Football post-game show here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. What's up, KJ?
Sparky, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Hey, I wonder, what is it going to take to get Matt LaFleur out of here? I mean, really, what is it going to take?
I think
is it going to take Packer fans storming the gates of 1255?
No, he doesn't care about y'all. Why would he? I'll tell you what it's going to take. Y'all want him gone? It'll be Jordan Love asking for him to be gone. Otherwise, he stays.
Or Micah Parsons. One of the two.
Yeah, Micah just got there, though. He ain't going to ask for
it. Yeah, it don't matter. He's going to be he's the future. I mean, you didn't pay him all that money for him to sit there and text, okay?
Well, no, he was on crutches today watching the game. If Micah Parsons is in this game, KJ, do they lose? Probably not.
Who knows? We don't know. We don't know because he wasn't in the game. So that's all just conjecture either way. But what I want to say is the Bears exploited all of the Packers' deficiencies. Their secondary, their special teams, and what was that dude's name? Loveland?
Colson Loveland, rookie tight end who did nothing in the first half of the year.
He killed them, and that's been their Achilles heel, not being able to cover tight ends with linebackers or whoever else for years, man. So, hey, I don't know what they're going to do. I know Harbaugh is still out there. I know Cleveland's looking for a head coach. Let's send this dude, LaFleur, somewhere else, maybe Cleveland or wherever else. But, I mean, he needs to go.
All right.
For sure.
Thanks for the call.
man.
Appreciate it, KJ. Everybody wants Matt LaFleur fired. I'm not going to sit here and fight with y'all. Y'all want him fired. I understand. But this would have to be one heck of a turnaround by Ed Policy based on what Ian Rappaport was saying earlier today. Now, let me say this. If they were to fire Matt LaFleur, and if y'all were to get your way, and if it's John Harbaugh as head coach, he ain't a play caller. He ain't a coordinator, which means now you get the, okay, Jordan Love, go learn a new offense, go get with another guy. Now, remember, paying Jordan Love an awful lot of money. And then if that goes sideways, then y'all are going to want Jordan Love gone because he can't figure out how to work with a new offensive coordinator. So then you're going to have wasted all that money on Jordan Love. You've moved on from Matt LaFleur. You clearly have gone backwards at that point if you're wanting to move on from Jordan Love with the new coordinator. See, there's just a lot of if come maybes. I'm not saying that if they bring a new offensive coordinator in and John Harbaugh is the head coach, that they can't win and make a run and all of that. That very well could still happen, and y'all could be right. The other side of this is it could send them spiraling for God knows how many years if they don't get it right on the next time. Let's go to Vincent in Anaheim. You are next here on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text Line. What's up, Vincent?
Hey, man, what's up, Sparky, man? First, if Ed Policy already said that and it's public and it's for real, you know he ain't gonna, he's not going to change. Because, you know, I remember like when Leroy Butler and them used to work together, he always said that they're never going to make themselves like not player or staff friendly. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if they said that publicly, it kind of stuck with them. Me personally, sorry, I was walking down the stairs out of shape.
That's all right.
I'll keep it real, man. I'm going to go, I'm blame the kicker, period. You miss the extra point, you get paid to kick. And then you miss that field goal. If you would have made that extra point, or would have made those field goals, it would have been done. Now we know how it feels, how the Ravens feel. We know how the Steelers would have felt if they would have lost because the damn kicker didn't get the job done. You can dissect the game as much as you want. The offense got us down there. Jordan Love got us down there, regardless of the bad play calling or whatever you want to say. Special teams, kicker-wise, didn't get it done. I like our special teams coach because, you know, I'm biased. I was a Raiders fan. He got the Raiders to the playoffs when he was the interim coach.
Bisaccia, right. They wanted them to hire Bisaccia as the head coach. Yeah.
And I think he's not allowed to do what he fully wants to do. So that's why you're not seeing it. And then I know our special teams have been horrible this whole year anyway, when it hasn't it. So I understand that he didn't improve it as much. But I blame the kicker, man. And then Jeff Hafley, you knew the Bears were a second half team. You knew. Everybody knew that. Some guy, I was walking at a Dollar Tree, some guy said, hey, the Packers are good winning, 21-3. And I said, the game ain't over till it's over. He's like, nah, I think the Packers got it done. I got in my car, and I was like, I hope so. But they did it. They've been doing it. So you knew you got to tighten up, unless our guys got tired. But look, all the highlights I saw from the Bears, it looked like blown coverages. The Bears were confusing, you know, our secondary. So was it the talent out there that couldn't get it done, or was it the coaching? So Matt LaFleur, let him run out his contract. Last year, I always say that, you know, instead of
so you don't you don't extend him, you let him coach up. Yeah, that makes sense, Vincent. Thanks for the call, buddy.
You're get someone of those, a big one. Hey, go pack, go, man. Keep your heads up, man.
Take care.
You lost the game.
There is Vincent in Anaheim. Nate, north side of Milwaukee, using the Nicolay Law Talk and text line 414. If Ed Policy extends Matt, then Murphy picked the wrong person for this job. The offense is the reason why we lost this game, and this is the third or fourth game that the offense has lost it for the Packers. They hung their defense out to dry tonight. I also agree with Matt is soft and pathetic as a head coach from the 414. Texting in here to the Green Bay Football Postgame Show, powered by Lakeland University. See Sparky Pfeiffer with you, Josh Albrecht as well. What do you got over there, Josh Albrecht, over there in the Dugout YouTube chat? I see plenty of people messaging in. I know there's Bears fans in there as well, because I've seen the Bears fans chiming in as well. And this is what happens when you're live streaming on YouTube and X at WI Sports Radio. You get a bunch of people that will chime in for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm trying to summarize a lot of the stuff, a lot of people, just like the callers, have been saying, wanting Matt LaFleur to go, saying bring in Harbaugh, a bunch of other people. You know, some people bringing up a good point about Diggs and just a lot of things that led to this game that we were talking about that didn't seem to really even show up. You know, it was kind of the opposite. We were told by Stenovich we weren't going to really see Golden in a premier role in this game. Oh, there he is. It was, hey, Diggs is going to have an impact. We're going to need him out there. Didn't see him. So things literally went the opposite of what we were told. And a lot of people that are watching and commenting right now on our YouTube stream letting us know about it.
All right, very good. Got another one here from the 262. Packers need to hire the Miami head coach as their new offensive coordinator, take play calling away from Matt if they keep him, and then hire Jim Leonard as the new defensive coordinator. I don't see them moving on.
Can I just say,
they're not going to move on from Halfley, y'all.
No, Halfley might move on from them.
Sure.
This is one of the best parts about being a fan is getting to act like you are the GM and are going to know what they do. I can promise you this. If Matt LaFleur is gone, it is not going to be the person that you want in there. That's not what the Packers have ever done. It's when they hired Matt LaFleur, it wasn't who we thought it was going to be.
Nobody knew who Matt LaFleur was when they hired Matt LaFleur.
That's the Packer way, is bringing in someone that they do it with draft picks. They do it with coaching staff. It's always been that way, and so it'll continue to be that way. Doesn't change the fact that this sucked, and I'm with everyone else on saying I don't know how you can just act like this loss meant nothing in your decision to extend Matt LaFleur.
All right, let's move on to CB in Milwaukee. You're next on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line after the Packers lose to the Bears 31 to what was it? 31-26, I think it was. Go ahead.
Yeah, he is
31-27.
right about that.
Go ahead.
He is right about that. Tarzan ain't gonna be the coach that everybody wants. But there was a lot of stuff in this game, man. I'm so sick and tired of Rasheed Walker, all the penalties that he got tonight. Valentine, they came out flat after halftime. He's Matt LaFleur just not a good adjuster. He's just not a good chess player when it comes to certain things. And I see why everybody wants him gone, but it ain't going to be the same coach everybody wants. It's going to be somebody that Goody can control. He ain't going to bark back at him.
Well, that's the other thing, though. But, CB, that's the other thing, right? So if you can LaFleur, are you then extending Brian Gutekunst then and saying, hey, you've done a good job. We know all your guys were hurt, so we're not blaming you. We're blaming LaFleur that couldn't win with the guys that were hurt. So it's LaFleur's fault, but not Goody's fault. I don't know, man. Like, in my opinion, I think if you extend Goody, then you have to extend LaFleur at this point. And if you don't want to extend either one of them, like was suggested, fine. Then they both go into their lame duck year and see what happens.
Because John Harbaugh gonna want some control of that team as well. And Goody ain't he's not going to allow to give that up. So you can X him out. Now, somebody else, maybe a brand new assistant that's kind of hot right now, sure, he'll bring him in. But Harbaugh, he's going to want some control, and Goody ain't going to get that up.
I hear you. CB, thanks for the call. I don't. And again, we don't know about Ed Policy. We don't know how this is all going to play out with Ed Policy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know because I have no idea. Every time I look up over at the Dugout YouTube chat, it is fire him, fire him. People saying Gutekunst deserves just as much blame as Matt LaFleur does for this fiasco at this point.
See, I disagree with that. I feel like Goody's made some great moves.
Micah Parsons had to be signed off by Ed Policy. That we know.
Yeah.
He can't make that move without Ed Policy signing off. So giving up Kenny Clark and 2 1s, Goody had to sign off and go, yep, we're in. And Ed Policy, I promise you, had to be involved in signing Jordan Love to the deal they gave Jordan Love when they paid Jordan Love, because Murphy knew by the time this thing got going, he was going to be out. So you would assume Policy had his hands in on that as well. He's been there for a long time, people. Lamont, Milwaukee, you're next here on the Green Bay Football Postgame Show, powered by Lakeland University. What's up, Lamont?
What's up, y'all? I mean, I don't know what else to say about this. I was just talking to myself. The problem is that Matt LaFleur is a very soft coach, very soft. When complacent like you normally do, he doesn't put the pedal to the metal. Should have put this team away like you had an opportunity to do it, 2-3 weeks ago. You didn't do the same thing, so came back and haunt you again. So I guess Micah Parsons is probably the most important player on the defense. We didn't win another game, fellas, until when he left, when he got hurt. Are we serious right now? Are we really serious? And Carrington Valentine, don't let him on the bus. He can go back with his family. I hope his family came to Chicago. He can go back with his family. He'll be done after this game. This was pathetic, y'all. let's be honest. This was the most gut-wrenching playoff loss, I believe, in the last 50 years for the Packers. Control the game every single time, and then we give it up at the end. I don't even want to talk about special teams. That's what we do with special teams. We're going to blunder at least 2 or 3 times on the special teams. That's a given.
Yep, it
But
is.
as far as our offense, come on. Same thing.
No, I hear you.
Punt, miss field goal, punt, touchdown, miss field goal. That's what we do.
That's what it seemingly has been lately. Lamont, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Let's go to, Ben in Bayview. You're next on the Nicolay Law talk and text line. Packers lose to the Chicago Bears 31-27. Got the phone lines open for you to call or text, vent, bucket dump, whatever you want to call it, here on a Saturday night as the Packers season comes to an end. What's up, Ben?
Yeah, I just want to change it to Matt LaFleur, and that's fine if you want to keep him. But, I mean, he's a regular season savant. We've been the 7 seed, which has only been around for a few years now. If you want Goody gone too, I'm completely fine with that. He traded for Parsons.
Yep.
He hit on Love, maybe. But other than that, I mean, Edgerrin Cooper, Josh Jacobs has been a nice piece. But
that's the other thing. Nobody's brought that up either. You lost Edgerrin Cooper in this game too there in the second half. And when he went down, I got on Twitter and I was like, man, because Nixon, remember, got that flag at that point too for a personal foul flag. And that was to be expected. You knew he was going to lose his cool at some point. But the deal with Cooper was like that he was your best player on defense this entire game, making play after play. And then Hopper came in, got the interception. But again, losing Cooper was a big, big blow to this Packers defense.
It was. I just think when you look at Ed Policy, I mean, his father was part of the 49ers.
Carmen Policy, yep.
Yep. And what they do, they won Super Bowls. So if you want to look at Matt LaFleur and talk about his regular season success, I mean, we've been the 7 seed. He will want to be like his father and win Super Bowl.
Yes.
So that should be our aspiration.
That's
I mean,
correct.
I don't know who the next guy is, but it feels like insanity doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. I just think we need new voices. I don't care if it's the head coach, GM, maybe both should change.
Got you. That's fair. Ben, thanks for the call. Again, I mean, the idea of we keep doing the same thing, that is true, right? You haven't won the division in the last 3 years. And sometimes, normally the rule is 10 years, I want to say, in the National Football League. After 10 years, regardless, you should move on to get a new voice in there just to change things up, if nothing
Sparky,
else.
let me ask you a question. Really quick. Do you think, regardless of who the coach is, you have the talent that this team has that you can't get the 7 seed?
If this team was healthy all year, they would have won the division and blown out whoever was in the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. With the talent that we're going to have next year, do you think that this team can potentially not get the 7 seed?
If everybody is healthy next year with what they have, they can win the Super Bowl.
Then you don't need Matt LaFleur, because that's what Matt LaFleur has been getting you. 7 seed, 7 seed, 7 seed.
Mm-hmm.
So take a chance, get a new coach, and at the very least, with Micah Parsons, Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, and the rest of this team that you've built, that Goody has built, you'll at least be in the same position that Matt LaFleur has constantly put you in.
And that's what he's put you in, for sure. I can't argue that. Let's go to Lewis in Milwaukee. You're next on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. What's up, Lewis?
What's up, Sparky? What's up, man? I hate to say, I hate to be right. You know what I'm saying? But
no, you don't. I've known you long enough. You love to be right. You need to stop.
Right, but like backing into the playoffs and then losing to your rival. Look, if this game would have been against the Eagles and we lose, okay, I could say LaFleur, hey man, we injured this and that. But to be up the way we were and to blow this game, and Ed Policy is going to go to the board of directors and say, hey, I'm going to extend this guy. I don't care what Ian Rappaport says. Look, Spark, Sham, Sarnia, all those reporters said Giannis wanted to be traded, and he came out yesterday and said, y'all lying. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care what Ian Rappaport reports. You know what I'm saying? Ed Policy is going to fire this guy. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's no way you can give him a pen and say, hey, what at best, what they're going to do? Give him a 2-year extension.
Yep.
And then and Ed is going to say, look here, 2-year extension. But next year, if we're not hosting the NFC Championship game, you're fired.
You know what I'm saying? So you might as well just fire him now.
I cannot wait to see what happens to this fan base if they give him an extension. I cannot wait to see what happens. This fan base is going to implode, is what's going to happen. Y'all are going to lose your collective minds if Ed Policy extends both these guys.
Yeah, but guess what? When September and October rolls around, they're going to show up. They're going to tailgate. They're going to buy jerseys.
Yes.
And Policy knows that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So we're always going to do this. We're going to call the radio after a blown field goal, and we're going to be upset. This, all that's going to happen.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But really, if he wants to be like his daddy, you know what I'm saying? And doesn't Harbaugh have a 49er connection somewhere in there? Isn't there? Am I right?
Well, Jim Harbaugh was with the 49ers, had a falling out with the York family or whatever else. John, I don't believe, has a connection there at all. No.
But since they're brothers, there's a connection. They done had dinners. They done played golf. It's some connection there. You know what I'm saying? So if Ed wants to be like his daddy, he's going to make some changes. He's not going to go status quo what this other guy did.
We're going to find out. Lewis, we are.
Make a stand.
Yeah, we're going to find out. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. We're going to find out. Tell you this. If he fires him now, it's going to be interesting. Because first, let me say a couple of things. If they fire, let's say they fire LaFleur on Monday, he'll have a job by Friday, would be my guess. He'll be a head coach somewhere by Friday. And Harbaugh will have a job somewhere by Friday as well. I don't know if it'll be in Green Bay, but I would assume Harbaugh is hired by the end of next week for sure. And then if LaFleur were to be let go, he would be hired somewhere, providing he wanted to be hired somewhere. And go right back in. He may take a year off like McCarthy always does when he gets canned. But either way, he'll be a hot name out there right away, especially if you have a young quarterback at that point. And then, they have to make the decision of who's hiring the next head coach because Murphy hired LaFleur. Goody was in the room, but that was a Murphy hire. So is this going to be a policy hire or are they going to let Goody make the hire if they decide to move on from Matt LaFleur? I would think they're going to get horribly criticized around the country if they move on from LaFleur. The fan base here will celebrate. Nobody will understand it. But again, I think everybody makes good points on why they would want to see them move on from Matt LaFleur at this point. Packers lose 31-27, the season over. We got to hear from Matt LaFleur. We got to hear from Jordan Love. That's all still to come. Green Bay Football Postgame Show, powered by Lakeland University as we broadcast live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky and Josh here.
Downs, and it has not worked out for them. Packers 3 for 3 on these third downs.
Crowd roaring. Go 5 wide here on 3rd down and 9. In the pocket. Open. Caught. Reed. Touchdown. Jaden Reed from 18 yards out.
How about that? What a great play. That made it 14-3, highlight courtesy of Amazon Prime. And, of course, Fox 6. Jaden Reed on the touchdown catch, 18 yards. And, again, Watson finds the end zone. Watson could have found the end zone twice in that game. If you remember quickly, this was an unbelievable play. This one right here.
4th down, 1. Off the fake. Wide open. 1st down and a ton more down the sideline. Diving in. Does he get in for the score? He does. Christian Watson on a 4th and 1 from 23 yards out. What a dagger.
It wasn't a dagger because they ruled that he fumbled the ball before he got over. The Packers eventually score. But that was another amazing play in this game for the Green Bay Packers. So trying to put some positive onto all of the negative that's rolling in here. Josh Albrecht's in here, and he's just not liking my positive.
Break.
Just not liking the positive.
No,
just not liking the positive.
The season's over. They blew it.
You don't have Trevor with you, so I'm trying to bring some of that positive with you since Trevor's not here.
No, I don't need that.
No, okay.
I don't need that right now.
All right, fine. Packers lose 31-27. Their season's over. Bears win. If you want to vent, we are here for you. Let's do that. Nicolay Law Talking text line 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. Let's see. Where are we going next? Let's go to Justin in Milwaukee. You're next on the Nicolay Law Talking text line. What's up, Justin?
Hey, Sparky. How you doing?
Good.
So, first of all, first time watching the game at Potawatomi. That was a blast.
Oh, yeah. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Was it all Packer fans or was it split?
I'd say it was probably about 80-20.
Really?
Packers fans.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But it was a great time. Loved it. I'm definitely going to do it again. The parts that concern me, like I understand the player LaFleur stuff and why there's arguments for and against. At the end of the game, there were so many just like points where it's like they're nervous, right? They have this anxiety at the end of the game that they don't know how to manage. The number of dropped passes that they had on that final drive, where these guys were playing great all game. We have 2 or 3 drop passes, right? We get our injury on the offensive line. We get a false start on the offensive line. And then Jordan Love fumbles the ball on the last play. Like, what? That's an issue, right? That's, in my opinion, is a coaching issue and not getting these guys mentally prepared for the crunch time. And the fact that our kicker misses 7 points on the field, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the part where I'm really concerned because this isn't the first time where you've seen this at the end of a game or in crucial moments where they just don't look like they're mentally ready for the big moment. And they should be at that point where they're taking that next step to be that team, and they're not doing it.
You're right about that. I've got no counter to that other than you're right, Justin. Thanks for the call. I'm glad you enjoyed the Potawatomi Sports. I'm telling you, best sports book in the Midwest. You'll love it if you go there. He is right, and from the aspect of being able to hold it together better in big moments at the end of games. I don't think that's really debatable at this point, where, yes, they're the youngest team in the NFL and all of that, but a majority of these guys have been on this team now for 3 or 4 years playing together, and you should be able to play better in big moments. And for whatever the reason, it just hasn't necessarily been that way over the last, couple of years for the Green Bay Packers. The other point about Brandon McManus missing a couple of field goals and extra point, yeah, you lost by 4, right? I mean, if he makes a field goal and the extra point, it's tied. We're in overtime. If he makes all 3 kicks, you win the football game, and we're not even having the conversation about firing Matt LaFleur and everything else. But again, that's not how the cookie crumbled in this one. Let's go to Leo in Nebraska. You're next in the Green Bay Football Postgame Show, powered by Lakeland University. Me, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, and Josh Albrecht from Inside Wisconsin Sports Morning Show here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. What's up, Leo?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How you guys doing?
We're hanging in there.
Fantastic. Never better.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. Listen, I want to start with probably the biggest problem, and And that's Caleb Williams for the next 12 years of our lives. That guy's a problem. That guy, he's a winner. And you know, we can talk about the kicker. We can talk about Matt LaFleur. We can talk about all these guys and who to share blame. But at the end of the day, you know, the offense, we were up 21-3 in the first half. And we just take a nap? We don't come back from that? We can't score a point until mid-fourth quarter? You know what I mean? Like, I'm tired of this, man. I'm tired of first-round exits. I'm tired of being promised a Super Bowl every year. And then, you know, we get Micah Parsons. You think, yeah, no way we're not a powerhouse. Man, I'm just fed up with it.
Yeah,
you know
but then
I mean?
Micah Parsons got hurt, and then you are who you were.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the thing. If they would have lost this game with Micah Parsons, then you could be like, oh, my God, we got Micah Parsons, and you still screwed this up. But that's not what happened. You lost Micah Parsons, and you lost every game after that, along with the other 13 or 14 guys that you got hurt.
Also, Caleb Williams does not look as impressive if Micah Parsons is chasing after him.
Well, no.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
so
yeah,
I'm
Micah
just saying
Parsons,
for the next 12 years, I'm not worrying about Caleb Williams so much as long as I have Micah Parsons on the
And
other
how
side.
many times did Micah Parsons close the game with a big play or a sack or something to finish a game for the defense? And you don't have that closer right now because nobody else can get to the damn quarterback.
No, man, I agree. And you know, and the thing is, you know, he threw for 360 passing yards tonight, man. Like we can't stop a nosebleed out there in the second half. I don't know what happened. It's like we went into halftime and we decided that was good enough.
Losing Edgerrin Cooper, I'm telling you, was a big damn deal. Thanks for the call, Leo. You literally saw Caleb Williams a couple times point at 56. Like, he's right there because he was a one-man wrecking crew for a majority of that first half and early on in the second half before he went down. And they lost Edwards, right? I mean, they lost a big playmaker to at linebacker. So, you know, I could sit here and be like, well, if they don't lose Edgerrin Cooper, but Bears fans could be like, well, we lost TJ Edwards, and they were still able to overcome that and still win the football game at the end of the day. If you want to hop aboard and vent and let us know how you feel, Nicolay Law Talk and text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250, 262, hire John Gruden, Doug Peterson, both have done something Matt will not do. And yeah, I don't want Doug Peterson. I'm out.
No.
John Gruden. I don't want John Gruden either.
No.
I don't want either one of them.
John Harbaugh, maybe.
Yeah, fine. I'll listen on Harbaugh. I'll listen on Harbaugh. I don't want to go back to John Gruden. He's been out of the game a long time, man. Like, is he entertaining to watch, you know, on Barstool and listen to and all that? Yeah, it's very entertaining.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, very entertaining.
Knock on wood if you're with me.
Yeah,
right?
and that's fine. I can't get down with hiring him as the next head coach. I'm just not there. Doug in Racine, you are next here on the Green Bay Football Postgame Show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. What's up, Doug?
Hey, buddy. I'm not either way mad or sad. I think LaFleur is done. I just think his time is gone, and I just want to see something different. When you had that big a lead and you lost it, I just don't think you can come back from that.
Well, this is the thing. Only Ed Policy knows the answer to this, right? I have no idea how Ed Policy looks at that. All we have is the report from earlier today from Rapport saying, regardless of outcome, he's got a job and they want him here long term. Now, maybe Ed Policy looks at this and goes, this is too much. Like, I wasn't expecting to lose this way if we were going to lose. This is too much even for me, and I've got to make a change. Maybe he says that tonight. Maybe he says this tomorrow morning at the end of the day. If I was guessing, Ed Policy and Matt LaFleur probably are going to have a conversation tonight at some point on the way back to Green Bay. They will have some type of conversation of Ed Policy going to Matt and being like, dude, it sucks. Your kicker missed 2 field goals and an extra point, and this happened and that happened. Like, everybody's mad at the world or whatever, but you're my guy. We're rolling. We'll talk in a couple of weeks and figure out the contract extension. Or Ed Policy says, hey, man, you know, take some time, breathe a little bit. We'll talk about it on Monday. That would not be good for Matt LaFleur if he says that. If you're Matt LaFleur and Ed Policy is with you, you want to hear reassurances that you're good and the extension's still going to happen. You do not want to hear, hey, why don't we take a couple of days? We'll talk about Monday after things calm down a little bit. That's not what you want to hear at this point if you're Matt LaFleur. Thanks for the call. 773 says Micah and Kenny Clark lost as well. Let's not forget. That's true, but you didn't have Kenny Clark all year long.
Right.
And you were figuring out ways to win the game. This defense was damn good for a majority of the season. The defense didn't go sideways until, again, your best and only pass rusher and Micah Parsons went away.
And Wyatt. When Wyatt went down, too. That was huge.
Wyatt, internal or inside pass rush, but also helped stop the run. It was a big deal. If I'm Devontae Wyatt, I was like, pay me. You saw what this looked like twice during the season when I went out. And what happened to your defense? Absolutely. Let's go over there, read a couple over there on your side of the world, Mr. Josh. As far as the dugout YouTube chat over there, what do you got?
Yeah, there was someone here I had it marked. I thought someone wants you to put cement blocks on your feet and have you swim with the fishes with the rest of Matt LaFleur's coaching staff, just based on the fact that everyone disagreeing with you, by the way,
okay.
on the
That's
YouTube
right.
chat,
That's
not
okay.
understanding at all how you can defend Matt LaFleur after this game.
This is pretty simple, y'all. Real simple. I am very fearful. Just look at the Detroit Lions. They moved on from Ben Johnson. They missed the playoffs. You all are going to lose your damn minds if they move on from Matt LaFleur and then this team misses the playoffs for 2 or 3 years in a row. Then y'all are going to be like, I'd rather be the 7th seed. At least we were in the playoffs. Then that's going to be the conversation.
What did I just ask you before? What did I ask you before?
I know what you said. You said, is this team, how good is this team? And I said, if they're healthy next year, they're a Super Bowl team. Yes.
And you think they're a Super Bowl team because of Matt LaFleur?
Yes.
No.
Absolutely.
No. They are.
Matt LaFleur,
No.
his offense, Tucker Kraft, Christian Watson, Jordan Love.
No.
I mean, you haven't seen Tucker Kraft and Christian Watson together this year. It never got to that. Watson got hurt. Kraft ruled the world. Then Kraft got hurt. Back comes Christian Watson. And then you eventually get Jaden Reed back. You didn't have
Tucker Kraft
Ricks.
wasn't the reason why they got 6 yards on 6 plays to start the second half of this game.
Hold on. If they have Tucker Kraft, this is not it. We're not even talking about this. That offense is even more dynamic than it was if they have Tucker Kraft, Josh. He was the best tight end in football when he got hurt.
You are the head coach. Your team is up 21-3.
I understand.
You have to be able to keep your guys focused and continue doing exactly what they were doing.
You're right.
If you fail at that, you failed as a head coach. It's that simple. They have the talent. They're going to have even more talent.
Because you'll add a draft class, right?
And you're going to have all these guys that were injured come back. But you saw this continuously be the last rung. That's what they got. They just got in. That 7 seed. It's done. This team is good enough with you as the head coach to get a 7 seed. I want to get someone in there that gets them as the 1 seed. That gets a fire up under him.
Get Ryan Wood. Ryan Wood calling it right now, the Packers beat writer from the Green Bay Press Gazette. And we will talk to him. Take a quick time out. Come back. Talk to him straight ahead. It is the Green Bay football postgame show powered by Lakeland University. Live from Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky here. Ryan Wood coming up. Welcome back, Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer with you. Josh Albrecht filling in for Tommy Wirtz tonight, who picked a good night to take off.
Sure did.
However, Tommy Wirtz, Mitch Thunder Nellis in tomorrow morning, taking more of your calls from 8 until noon. Let's go to Kevin in Chicago. You're next on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. What's up, Kevin?
Not much. I'm living my personal HELL, being in Chicago, being a Packer fan. So I have 5 points. The first point is, did anyone else see Diggs on the field at all? At all?
No.
Nope.
Nope. All right. Our starter going out the last series kind of sucked. It was not good.
Yep.
The Bears had no injuries on O-line at all season. So I'm not even mad at them. I'm the Packer fan. I'm whatever.
Their
right?
left tackle, I just came across out for the rest of the postseason with a patellar injury. So that's going to be a big blow to them. Yep.
That's just not all season though.
Yep.
And Valentine is playing the wrong position. He's a slot corner, not an outside corner. And then I think our team is soft.
Yeah,
we're very soft.
That's been the common theme tonight, Kevin, that they have a soft head coach and a soft team. Thanks for the call. All right, it is Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. I understand, and we've made the decision. We are going to continue going on our show until 1 a.m., but unfortunately, because of the decision late here in Milwaukee, it's going to be on only in Milwaukee for the next hour from midnight to 1. If you want to stream us on X and YouTube, you can, WI Sports Radio, or go to wisportsradio.com. One more hour to go in Milwaukee. The rest of you, have a good rest of your night. Packers lose.
game is over. What went right and what went wrong? It's time for the Green Bay Football Postgame Show, brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. Let's get to your hosts of the show, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer and Tommy Wirtz, on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Packers lose 31-27. Their season is over. Phone lines open for you. Going until 1 a.m. Phone lines are open. 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. I know a couple of you guys have been on hold for quite some time. Just hang in there with me. We'll get to you, I promise, immediately after our guy, Ryan Wood, joins us now on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. You picked the Packers with a victory on Friday. And I don't think anybody saw the way this one ended up coming out. I mean, I think regardless of the fact that it's a playoff game, just put that aside. I feel like this one was even worse to watch in the second half than the last one was.
Yeah, 21-3 is an even bigger lead than whatever it was at halftime 3 weeks ago. This, for two teams that are very similar to each other, two really good quarterbacks, two really not good defenses. It's amazing how opposite these two teams play 4 quarters. 3 straight games now. It's all Packers in the first half. It's all Bears in the second half. Here's the problem with that for the Packers. It's more important how you finish than how you start with anything in life.
Yep.
How you start, it sounds like it doesn't matter. It matters. How you finish is what counts. And the Packers don't finish. This team doesn't finish. Sparky, this was the type of loss where your fabric, your identity, who you are, gets exposed. That's what happened here. That's why it feels so bad, because the Bears have made a season out of this, a season that's now going to the NFC divisional round next week in Chicago. They have no quit. They have no fight. They often don't have much execution. This is a deeply flawed football team, the Chicago Bears. I feel, after watching 3 games between these teams, they're not the better team. They're not the more talented team. They don't execute more consistently, but they've won 2, and they won the one that mattered because they don't have the Packers never matched the Chicago Bears fight. Not in that fourth quarter. That's the question. Any season, any loss is tough. The question you can never have hanging over your head for the entire offseason is, where was the fight? And that's the question that hangs out over the Green Bay Packers' head going into another empty offseason. Where was the fight?
So earlier today, Ian Rappaport said, regardless of outcome, Ed Policy is extending Matt LaFleur. After watching this, do you see a scenario where Ed Policy changes his mind?
I thought coming into this game, the bar for Matt LaFleur to clear was so low. It was hard to not see him back next season. Sparky, I don't know if he cleared it. That's how bad this loss was. You're up 21-3. You know what I was thinking at halftime, Sparky? I was thinking, I gotta book a flight to Seattle. That's where we're going. You know, it was just clear they were the better team. And when you're the better team, you better win this game.
Yep.
They didn't.
Nope, they didn't.
I don't know if he cleared the bar.
Okay, what about Brandon McManus? He makes his kicks. They win this football game. Has Brandon McManus kicked his last game in Green Bay?
I don't think he cleared the bar either. Brandon McManus called it the biggest disappointment, the biggest embarrassment of his career.
Oof.
After this game. It's a long career.
Yeah.
And he's had some down moments. 7 points he left off the board. The 55-yarder before halftime, it's Soldier Field. You want to make that kick, that happens. The missed extra point, my God. The 44-yard shank, my God. These things cannot happen. If you are designed to win a Super Bowl, you can't have a question at kicker. You just can't. And how can you not have a question at kicker when you have a kicker who leaves 7 points off the board and you lose by 4?
No, I think those are great points. Ryan Wood, Green Bay Packers beat writer for the Green Bay Press Gazette, joining us here on the Green Bay Football Postgame Show, powered by Lakeland University. Sparky with you, Josh Albrecht from Inside Wisconsin Sports here as well. The other part about this is to me, you tell me if you disagree, I think losing Edger and Cooper in that second half was a huge body blow to this Packers defense. I realized Tyron Hopper went and got an interception after that, but that was a big deal because he was the best player on the defensive side of the football up until that point.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears lost T.J. Edwards.
I know.
That's football.
Yeah.
You know, that it's not like it doesn't matter, but at the end of the day, this is a team that had gone through an unbelievable amount of injuries this season. No Devontae Wyatt, no Tucker Kraft, no Micah Parsons. They were up 21-3 at halftime. They showed that they were capable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes this all the worse. If it's one thing if at the end of the day you're just not capable of winning, if the injuries become too much, I don't think an Edger and Cooper, given everything else that's transpired from the injury front this season, I don't think an Edger and Cooper leaving the game is enough to hang your hat on the loss on Edger and Cooper and not being there. Like, they were capable. They didn't win. That was the issue.
What about the breakout game from Matthew Golden we've all been waiting for? That's a positive heading into the offseason.
Yeah, amazing. Wonder what would have happened if they threw him the ball in November.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, so apparently that's been there this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently he has playmaking ability, which, by the way, the few chances he's gotten during the regular season, he always showed that. He always showed. I understand he had 2 drops last week in Minnesota, whatever. He didn't have a drop before then, all season. He consistently showed that he was a playmaker. Whenever he got an opportunity, he did not get opportunities. He's a first-round pick. How do you not prioritize the first-round pick at a position that you had not drafted in the first round in 23 years, and then all of a sudden you get to a desperation moment, you throw him the ball, and he makes plays? That can't happen, but it did. And that's on the coaching staff too.
Ryan, I don't understand how the team could so drastically change from the way they played in the first half to the second half. I understand, adjustments are made, things like that happen, but to go from touchdown, and then, you get that ball back for that field goal attempt, but to then come out and on your next 2 drives, you have 6 plays for 6 yards. How does a team make that big of a swing? Because I don't know how you could have swung more in the opposite direction.
I really don't either. It's shocking. And I asked multiple players in that locker room if they were shocked. And to a man, each of them said, yeah. Because here's the thing. Any team, when they go into a playoff game, knows that they are signing up for the potential that their season ends. They all know that that's the possibility. The Packers never saw that coming. No team ever sees that coming. I've seen a lot of tough final locker rooms post-game in my 12 seasons covering this team. That was as close as 2014 Seattle as I've ever seen. And there's just something about a choke job, a collapse that you never see coming that leaves you in that state. And this was different. Like this, how does it happen? Because you're playing a team that has more fight. You're playing a team that, okay, Caleb Williams might miss. He might airmail 4 or 5 open receivers, but he keeps swinging. He is not going down without a fight. The Packers went down without a fight in that fourth quarter. It can't happen, and yet it did.
No, and that's exactly what happened. Okay, I got another one for you here. How big of a deal was it to you with Zach Tom not being in there, and then eventually the Sean Ryan injury wasn't very long, and then the game was over, but those 2 injuries?
Yeah, Zach Tom not being there, it matters, but again, not a big deal because of how Jordan Love played. Jordan Love actually played very well in this game. I don't have the numbers in front of me. He had 4 touchdowns and no picks. After 2 drives, he had a perfect 158.3 passer rating.
Right.
He was taking on heat against this Bears defense, which, by the way, cannot rush the passer.
Correct.
They have no pass rush in Chicago.
Yep.
And he was taking on heat. So, yeah, Zach Tom's absence mattered. It was a reason why Jordan Love kept taking on heat. But he kept delivering. He was dealing. Like, this loss is not on Jordan Love. That's why I say it's a fabric type loss. So it's a collectively in that locker room, this coaching staff, this organization, what you're made of and what you're not made of. That's what this loss is. It's not on the quarterback. Jordan Love played out of his mind most of the night against a defense that was overmatched. He ran out of time at the end. It got to the point, this defense was so helpless in the fourth quarter when DJ Moore caught that 25-yard touchdown to go ahead by 4, I'm thinking there's 143 left. That might be the best thing that happened to this team.
Agreed.
Literally, I was sitting next to my colleague Pete Doherty in the press box, and right before that snap, I turned to him and I say, they just need to let them score as quick as possible. That's their best chance here.
Yep.
There's no mystery. Everyone knew the Bears were going to score. Did they have enough time? It turns out 143 was not enough time. They needed about 2 minutes, and then they would have scored.
Well, the other thing is you had the injury that took 10 seconds off the clock, too. You had that 10-second runoff to go from 32 to 22 with the Sean Ryan injury. That cost you at least one play from that perspective, too. Carrington Valentine and Keyshawn Nixon. Are either one of those two guys starting a corner for the Packers next year?
I can see Keyshawn Nixon. I think he's a legit number 2 corner. He's not a number 1. Carrington Valentine's not a number 2 corner. They're going to have to find another starting cornerback, but they're going to also have to find a kick returner. Like this, one of the maddening things about this loss is that things, and this isn't the first time that we've seen this in a playoff defeat for the Packers over the years, things that were regular season issues throughout the season reared their head again. They never filled full-time their return positions, and their return positions were something that they had to frantically scramble to address tonight. It's not when you want to address it. It is game 18. And that's the position they were in. Procedural penalties. Even on that final drive, they're having penalties that they cannot afford because they don't have enough time to overcome that. We saw that all season. It never got fixed. Some of these issues have persisted since September, and they just never got fixed. And ultimately, they contributed to ending your year.
I'm sorry, but every person that's called into this show, every person that's texted in, I've listened to Josh Albrecht all night. If Ed Policy goes back and listens to the podcast of this show at wisportsradio.com, it'll be 3 hours long, goes back and listens to it. I don't know how you determine that Matt LaFleur is back, because like everything that is being said all points back to him as the head coach.
This loss does, because it's a fabric issue. It is what your team is made of. Matt LaFleur is a very good play caller. The offense was good tonight. Not in the third quarter, but you put up 27 points. He has consistently been he's a brilliant offensive mind. He's a good play caller, but a head coach is responsible for the identity of a team, and the identity of this team in the biggest game of their year. So they didn't have enough fight. They didn't match the Bears' fight. And it's the second straight season now that they've exited the playoffs in the wild card game with a whimper. There were opportunities last year in Philadelphia, and they didn't have enough fight then either. This is not a one-off. This is becoming a trend. The identity of your team is established by the head coach, and this is not the identity. If they can't answer where the fight was, they're not winning a Super Bowl. And if you care about that, you better figure that out.
There he is, Ryan Wood. Packer fans cheering right now listening to Ryan Wood at the Green Bay Press Gazette. Follow him on X by Ryan Wood. Ryan, have safe travels back to Green Bay, my friend. I appreciate you. And we'll hear you on the station one last time coming up this week on all the shows.
All right, take care.
Take care. There he is, Ryan Wood, joining us. I think everybody should be happy with that.
Yeah,
all right,
smart man.
We've had some people on hold for quite a bit, and I apologize. I try not to do that. Roger in Cudahy, you are next on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. What's going on, Roger? Roger. I think Roger fell asleep. That's okay. I'm late. Gary, you're next on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. What's up, Gary?
This offense, while Love is rolling, LaFleur is doing a great job. Good stuff. Who posted that, Sparky?
I did. And at that point, they had 21 points. The Bears defense sucked. Couldn't do anything to stop this Packers offense. Yes, I don't regret posting that, because at that point, that's exactly what was happening.
And here's where, as a recovering Bears fan, you and I have known each other almost 25 years. You know that I have a unique perspective here, and I want to offer an olive branch to the Packer fans out there. First and foremost, I don't think you should fire Matt LaFleur, and this is not me trolling Packers Nation out there because, the Bears beat the Packers 2 out of 3 games. If you can't replace your coach with someone better, don't make a change, at least not at this time. Also, if you take a look at how the Packers played through the season until injuries got one after another, and you finally had a season-defining injury in Micah Parsons going down.
Yep.
If you look at the first Bears game to the second and third Bears games, what were the major differences on defense? The fact that you had Caleb Williams with more time because Micah Parsons wasn't making him run for his life all game long. If you're going to go ahead and bring John Gruden in, then why don't you just bring Frank Caliendo in or some other idiot like that, because he's not going to do any better for the Packers organization than what Matt LaFleur is doing right now.
That's the thing, though, Gary, right? So if they're going to bring somebody in, it's got to be somebody better, somebody that's got a better track record. John Harbaugh would be that guy, but if you're going to do this with Matt LaFleur, you better not wait too long to do this, because half the league is after John Harbaugh to come in and be that head coach. Thanks for the call. You realize on Friday, Wisconsin Sports Daily, and really all week, I said I had two things, right? Number one, keep the Bears rushing attack at least under 125, 150. They ran for a total of 93 yards in this game. 93. I said get at least one or two turnovers on defense in this game to help your offense. They picked off Caleb Williams twice, and they still lost the damn game. Literally did everything we wanted them to do, and they still lost the football game.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Let's go to Caden in McGuanago. You're next on the Green Bay Football Postgame Show, powered by Lakeland University, with me, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, and Josh Albrecht from the Inside Wisconsin Sports Morning Show, 6 to 9 weekdays with Trevor Thomas. What's up, Caden?
What's going on? Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Appreciate it.
I've got a couple of things here. Obviously, a special teams breakdown, like usual. We see this every year, and we decide to keep Rich Bisaccia. Any thoughts on that? Because I just feel like
he's got to be gone now. I don't see how they
he's
keep
the
him.
highest paid coach. That's his coach in the league, and we've been terrible every single year.
And he's the associate head coach. That's part of the reason why he gets paid as much as he does. So yeah.
That's even worse.
Yep.
And a lot of people are going to try to blame this game. Some people I've seen try to blame it on Love. That was not Love's fault at all. Love had 323 for 4 touchdowns and balled out. Our defense gave up in that second half. I think when Cooper went down, that's when it started to go downhill. Cooper
Agreed.
is a leader and a major part of this defense.
Yep. I totally agree with you. Yeah, you're right about that.
And again, what you guys were talking about earlier, it comes to a point where do we keep LaFleur or do we go for Harbaugh, who's got a Super Bowl on his record?
But if you get rid of LaFleur and you don't get Harbaugh, then who?
You look at people like John Gruden, obviously. I'm looking at Mike McDaniel. He was a really good play caller. Another problem, our offensive coordinator is Adam Stenovich. He's fucking terrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can't do that. We gotta dump you. Thankfully, we were off the network by that point when I dumped him, so that's at least good.
All right.
But again, I mean, this is the thing. When we talk about Mike McDaniel,
yeah,
isn't that LaFleur?
We're not doing Gruden. We're not doing Mike McDaniel.
But McDaniel, good play caller, but potentially not a good head coach, right? Now, again, he did have Tua. Jordan Love is better than Tua. I think we all agree with you on that. All right, let's go to Irv in Milwaukee. You're next on the Green Bay Football Postgame Show, powered by Lakeland University. What's going on, Irv?
Nothing much, man. Listen, I the only thing, they played a great game until the second half. I mean, before the halftime, they had a chance to put their foot on their neck and then get the ball back. That game should have been over going into the second half. But LaFleur, like you said, he gets to where he gets conservative and the team plays like that with his attitude. So, the caller said earlier, we need an attitude. We need that, whenever you come to Green Bay, you're going to get smacked in the mouth kind of an attitude on their team. And I think there's only one coach for that, and that's Harbaugh, Burrow. And if you can't get him, then you have to keep LaFleur. He's, we go to the playoffs every year, but that's about it, So fans, willing to settle for just going to the playoffs every year, and he's our coach. But I'm ready for a change. I think we watched this pony show too long, and Caleb Williams is a great quarterback, and the difference between him and Love, I'll never see Love show that kind of emotion like he does on the sideline, and he kept them guys motivated. Hey man, We're going to win this game. You can see him talking to those guys on the sideline. He's going to be a great player.
We will find out that for sure. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. 262 says, hire Bill Belichick. He'll fix the D, and he has 6 rings.
God, here we go. Listen, Irv is right. What Irv just said was right. Okay? My heart rate's gone down a little bit.
That's
it's
good.
Still way up, but Irv's right. If you can get Harbaugh, get Harbaugh. If you can't, you keep LaFleur. But why couldn't you get Harbaugh?
Then you better call Brian Harlan, his agent, up right now before you go make that LaFleur move. Because I'm telling you now, you fire LaFleur, you don't get Harbaugh, and then you're trying to figure out what coordinator you want to get their first head coaching gig after that.
Tell me why they wouldn't be able to get him. He said he was waiting until the end of wild card weekend. He had to figure that that there might be an opening in Green Bay.
Well, of what's out there, Green Bay, I think, is the best job opening, in my opinion. I mean, unless he wants to go coach Jackson Dart over Jordan Love, if he wants to go play for or go coach them for the Mara family, who he has high respect for, apparently.
How about knowing, too, that he's going to get Micah Parsons for next season? He's going to get this team on paper is amazing. The team that just lost to the Bears, not as good. They got beat up. Our 3rd and 4th stringers were injured. If I'm Harbaugh and I know, hey, I can go into Lambeau with a team that's been in the playoffs the last 3 years, that's going to have Micah Parsons coming back, Wyatt, who improved, a team that is essentially all ready to go. They just need me to prove it to them. I'm all in. What better situation is out there? There isn't one.
I agree. I don't think there is one either. But until you know for sure you've got them, me personally, again, do you remember we go back in the history of the Milwaukee Bucks, which everybody thought was dirty and low ball type stuff with the Bucks pulled. But there's Jabari Parker getting introduced, right? And they're working behind the scenes to trade for Jason Kidd. They had a head coach right there with Jabari Parker and John Hammond, and they're working behind the scenes to trade for Jason Kidd. And then it pops up on ESPN that night. I hate to say it, but if you're Green Bay, you're going to have to do the same type of stuff here, where he's under contract and he's still your head coach, and you're going to have to make exploratory calls while he's still in place and be like, hey, man, I'm not firing this dude unless I know I got John. So if John ain't coming, then I'm keeping Matt LaFleur, and he'll go into his lame duck year, and that's how it's going to be. If I know I've got John, then maybe you can justify moving on. If John Harbaugh's the hire, I think the Packer fans celebrate, right? They're going to celebrate if they move on from Matt LaFleur based on everybody tonight. But if the next hire isn't one that they're familiar with or whatever, not quite sure what that reaction is going to look like. Lincoln, you're next on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line after the Packers lose 31-27 to the Bears, ending the Packers season. What's up, Lincoln?
Hey, Sparky, Josh, team. Thanks for having me on the air.
Sure.
Hey, it really is something, as a Bears fan, I was watching the game downstairs in the first quarter, and, it was something where it was like, I didn't know how I wanted to feel, and I left, and I came back in the fourth quarter and, was surprised for everything going on. I think each team had their disadvantages and advantages this evening. As a Bears fan, I can understand if you guys, lose LaFleur, as a coach, but I think you make a good point that, if you guys know you have Harbaugh, and, in the future you gain him, but I think you guys could be in a similar situation as us, where we kept Eberflus forever. And, we hope that LaFleur continues to grow, the Packers as a team. And it's something where, it really is a shocker, what happened tonight. It's something where I hope my Bears go far, but, you really never know in the sport of the NFL. It's something we can all just, continue to move forward. And it really is just an overall, crazy game we had tonight. All we can do is hope for each team to, grow and compare to each other. And, even after 84 years, with the whole Pearl Harbor, we haven't beaten the Packers since then,
in Chicago.
Yeah. It's something that is, going to continue, and we're always going to continue having our rivalries as teams and as people.
But this is the thing, though. This is the thing, Lincoln. Ben Johnson's all about engaging in the rivalry. Matt LaFleur isn't. That's a big difference. Thanks for the call. Ben Johnson tonight, I haven't seen the audio, but Ben Johnson tonight is talking in his post-game presser about, hey, man, we saw everything that they were saying up north, and we took it to heart, and, we used it essentially for themselves as motivation. I was on the Score with Steve Rosenblum earlier today, and he brought up Josh Jacobs talking about the hit on Jordan Love and how they remember how that happened, and they're not too happy about it. Halfley talking about, hey, man, we're going to be back here next week because we're going to have more work to do or whatever the case may be. And Bears fans were like looking for all of those things to grasp onto to be excited and find a reason to be mad at the Packers, which is fine. I mean, totally fine. I get it. It's a rivalry. You should absolutely do that. But even during the course of the week, when Ben Johnson looked like he hadn't slept in 3 days and was staring, through people, LaFleur is happy-go-lucky. It's just another game. We're going to go out there. We're going to play. Everything's going to be fine. Like, that was completely different mentality than the other one. I see all this dude, John, I think it is, over there in the Dugout YouTube chat, talking about Caleb Williams and the Bears. Are the Bears for real now? Listen, dude. Let me see if I can make this as poignantly clear as possible. And I said this, and I've been saying this throughout the season for the most part. Maybe you don't listen to Wisconsin Sports Daily, which is fine. Served up by Wendy's, weekday afternoons 2 to 5. My producer is a Chicago Bears fan, Cubs fan, Bulls fan, all of that stuff. And he will testify to this. Y'all have had that feel of a team that kind of has that pixie dust, and everything that can go right for y'all goes right. You catch every break along the way. It reminds me of the same team that went and lost to the Colts in the Super Bowl with Mike Brown looking like a Hall of Famer back there in the secondary. And every break y'all could get that year, you got over and over again. And that's exactly what it is right now. If you told me before the playoffs started that the Bears would be in the Super Bowl, I'd have been like, yep, maybe. I could see it happening. Absolutely, I could see it happening. Because they've got that feel. And I don't understand how anybody could potentially watch this that isn't a Packers fan or isn't a Bears fan, watch that game and now walk away going, man, this team may just ride this damn thing all the way to the Super Bowl. I don't know if they'll win it, but they very well could go all the way there. That Rams team damn near lost at Carolina this afternoon.
Yep.
That team's beatable. Seattle, who trusts Sam Darnold? Come on. Philadelphia, maybe, but that thing has been on the verge of implosion throughout the entire season in Philadelphia. They haven't been together. So, again, I'm just being real. Like, this feels like a team that's got that something going with it right now. And the Packers couldn't overcome it. Will somebody else be able to overcome it? We'll find out. We will find out. All right, take a quick time out. We'll come back. We haven't heard from LaFleur. We haven't heard from Jordan Love. We've been hearing from all of you, which is awesome. We'll hear from what they got to say, too. Hopefully, I don't get mad listening to either one of them. Probably likely that I will, but we'll see what happens. Packers lose 31-27. Don't forget, special show tomorrow from 8 to 10 a.m. For more reaction if you want to hop aboard. Tommy Wirtz and Mitch Thunder Nellis tomorrow morning from 8 to 10 a.m. And make sure you want to check that out. It is Green Bay Football Postgame Show powered by Lakeland University, broadcasting live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky and Josh with you.
1 of 4 so far on 4th down. Got their power back in, and Monungai.
Can they get that yard? They're going to throw it. He's under pressure. He throws it. It's going to be intercepted at the 2-yard line by Tyron Hopper. You couldn't have a more deflating ending to a drive. DJ Moore fell down and a pick here.
Yeah, second interception on a 4th down. I think they just tried to catch Green Bay napping with a play action look. That's who he wanted to go to, is DJ Moore. He falls down. The pressure too much. He just puts it up into the air, and the Bears once again miss an opportunity.
I mean, think about it. That highlight courtesy of Amazon Prime. They overcame the idiocy of Ben Johnson to still win the game. We called this too last week. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer with you, Josh Albrecht over there. Green Bay football postgame show powered by Lakeland University. They overcame his idiocy. And boy, was there a lot of idiocy on Ben Johnson tonight. Like, if they would have lost that game, you could have pointed to all the 4th down blunders that they continue to go for. And we called that this week too. Just by the way Ben Johnson was talking, it's like, dude, this dude's going to go for like every 4th down imaginable. It will not matter where they are. Ben Johnson's ego will eventually cost them a football game, and it will probably cost them a playoff game potentially at the end. That's what's going to happen. You mark my words. Some dumb trick play that he doesn't need to run. He's trying to prove he's the smartest guy in the room, going for 4th downs left and right. I mean, it bailed themselves out, clearly. But I promise you, again, maybe it happens in the Super Bowl where it costs them a Super Bowl game. The good thing is for Bears fans is that sometimes it'll work and you'll be all excited. And other times it's going to happen and you're going to be like, dude, what are we doing? Like, why would you go for it in that situation for? And right now, Bears fans are excited. We beat the Packers. Okay, fine. Just telling you. That is somebody else that takes advantage of that situation that isn't named the Green Bay Packers and are able to make you pay for dumb decisions like Ben Johnson was making in this game. Then you're going to be mad. You're going to be really, really mad. But have no fear. The Packers didn't take advantage. Packers lose 31-27. Let's now hear from Packers head coach Matt LaFleur.
Well, obviously, this one is going to hurt for a really, really long time. When you are in complete control of a football game and the script gets flipped in the second half. And it was a lot of self-inflicted things. And, give credit to them. We knew they were a team that could come back and fight. They proved it all season long, and we had opportunities to kind of put them away, and we didn't get it done.
Now, what do you think happened?
A lot of bad things happened. I think a pivotal part was offensively. We come out in the second half and just could not get anything going. And you go 3 and out. I think we got a first down on the third drive, and but it was just too many opportunities when you have the ball and you're not scoring.
Was that an offensive line issue, do you think, early in the second half?
I think it was all of the above. There were certainly some things we did up front where they started bringing pressure and we weren't sliding out to it, weren't picking it up. Give them credit. And it's unfortunate because, we were doing so great in the first half, and then the second half was a different story.
Matt, you said you had some self-inflicted wounds in this game, but how much did Caleb Williams? What impact did he have, do you think, in kind of turning that game around? How much did he kind of will the Bears offense?
Yeah, he's a great player, and he's proven it time and time again, and you just can't give him that many opportunities. And that's collectively, that's offensively, that's on special teams, and then certainly on defense. You got to find a way to put him away.
Hey, Matt, you got a year left on your contract, and policy has said he doesn't like lame duck seasons. Do you expect to be back next season? Have you guys already started negotiating that deal? Or?
Yeah, with all due respect to your question, Pete, now's not the time for that. I'm just hurting for these guys. I can only think about just what just happened. And there'll be time for that.
Coach, how do you think Jordan played?
I thought he played his ass off. I really did. I thought he was out there competing. We obviously didn't do enough around him. And there were a couple situations where, whether it's a bad play call or bad protection, but I can't say enough great things about Jordan Love.
What do you attribute the problems in the kicking game to the two missed field goals and the missed extra point?
I mean, until I go back and look at it and talk to him, I mean, one of those kicks was a long kick at the end of the half. Obviously, the conditions are windy, but the difference was they made theirs and we did not.
You had a delay of game coming out of a timeout. How does that happen?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's inexcusable.
Hold on a second. You have a delay of game coming out of a timeout. Josh and I were over here, and I was livid. I was just like, how is that even possible to have a delay of game coming out of a timeout when the play caller is the head coach and you're talking to the quarterback of what you want to run coming out?
Not the first time it's happened.
And he says, well, good question. Well, you should have the answer, Matt. Right?
You should.
I don't understand. Moving on.
About a month ago, you guys were here, and obviously the game goes sideways after 2-minute warning into overtime. And then this game, big lead in the second half. Is there any thread that you look at that there's a commonality? There was the Bears adjusting at halftime that you guys maybe weren't able to adjust back. Is there anything that you can point to for those?
Well, I think that's our job to find those answers. Like I said, I think there was some uncharacteristic things, and we got bailed out at times too, where we displayed poor ball security a couple times, put the ball on the carpet, and it didn't kill us in a couple of those situations. But all in all, it was lack of execution from everybody.
Did you change how you called plays at all with such a big lead at half?
No. What they did was they brought more pressure. And so we started to go to more of our drop back protections because, they were firing corner blitzes and safety blitzes. And unfortunately, there were multiple occasions where we should have been picked up and weren't.
Matt, you've won a lot of games here. And I know you always say the quarterback gets too much blame, and I'm sure it's the same for you as a coach too. But after the way the season finished and a couple other playoff shortcomings, why do you think you should be back here next year?
Again, Pete, I'm not going to get into that right now.
All right, there is some of Matt LaFleur. Pete Doherty was trying to get Matt LaFleur to talk about signing a contract extension or should you be back here next year. A for effort, Pete Doherty, the Green Bay Press Gazette. Matt LaFleur not playing along.
Listen, we all knew that Matt wasn't going to play along. Pete Doherty still did what he needed to. Regardless of if Matt LaFleur was going to address the question or give them anything to go off of, to get that conversation stirring, all you had to do was ask the question.
And part of it was that story broke earlier today by Rappaport. So now Doherty is like, okay, now we get to talk to LaFleur, so let's follow up on it and see if you guys are actually talking or not. Because after this is done, you'll get a year-end presser from Matt LaFleur that I would assume would be Monday or Tuesday. And then after that, players are gone, he's gone, and then you get a press release telling you whether or not Matt LaFleur is back or not. And really, technically, there doesn't have to be a press release or anything for the Packers if they don't extend Matt LaFleur and they just let him play it out going into the last year of his contract. Technically, Ed Policy doesn't have to say boo to the media about Goody or Matt LaFleur's contract if he decides that I'm not doing anything. They're under contract, and we're just going to move forward. And nothing may come from that office at the end. We'll hear from Packers quarterback Jordan Love coming up next. Still time for you as well. Nicolay Law talking text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Green Bay football postgame show powered by Lakeland University, broadcasting live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky and Josh with you.
for it, but they got out of there with a win.
Kind of a typical game in the NFL to see, see so many of those. Wilson stays in as the running back. 3rd and 2. Fake it to him. Rolling, throwing, caught! And does he get into the end zone? He does. Christian Watson crosses the goal line for a touchdown.
A touchdown there. That was the first drive for the Green Bay Packers that made it 7-3. Packers over the Bears. And as the first half went on, the Bears defense couldn't do anything about the Packers offense other than watch the Packers offense march up and down the field. The Packers offense went 0 for 5 in the red zone the last time these two teams played. LaFleur said, hey, we got to score more touchdowns. They did in the first half of the game, and they did overall 4 touchdowns for Jordan Love on the day, tying the record for a single postseason game by a quarterback with touchdown passes. If he would have thrown one more, that would have been 5. He would have had it all to himself. As we've talked about, you really can't look at Jordan Love and go, well, he lost the game. There's just no chance you can say that. And the defense, I think everybody agreed, stop the running game and get turnovers. They did both. And I said on Friday, if they lose because of Caleb Williams' arm, I'm willing to live with it. But don't lose because he's running all over the field on you. Don't lose because both those running backs tore you up. And don't lose because you can't get the damn ball. And they didn't. They lost the way that I said I was okay with them losing, and which was Caleb Williams beat you with his arm at the end of the day, even though they had guys dropping balls like DJ Moore.
If you go back, Sparky, and you listen to everything you just laid out, you would have thought one of two things happened. Either one, the Packers won the game, right? Or two, Matt LaFleur needs to go. That's it.
Right back to that again,
Well, listen,
yes.
but this is what we do as fans. We process loss, and we look for reasons why. We look for who to blame. You just said, can't blame Jordan Love. You'd be crazy to blame Jordan Love.
Correct.
You look at the defense. Would have been really easy to blame the defense. Defense is hurt. Rashawn Gary hasn't been playing well. We haven't gotten turnovers. All of that existed in this game. So you can't look at the defense. Okay, you can't look at the offense, can't look at the defense. Where are you going to look?
Well, special teams will be the next spot. Because you're going to talk about McManus and that whole deal.
Sure. But even before, again, the McManus stuff doesn't even matter if the team continues to come out strong in the second half and be exactly the same team they were in the first. That's true. Coaching.
That's true. And that obviously did not happen. Jordan Love, he talked after the game, 4 touchdowns on the game, no interceptions. Here's the quarterback.
What happened offensively in the second half? You guys looked like you came out humming, and then it just sort of came to a halt.
Yeah, I mean, second half, you just look back on it, and we just couldn't get anything going. Came out, a couple 3-and-outs to start, and, it was really disappointing. I think after the first half we played, being able to drive the ball down and, score, it seemed like every time. I try to go back and look at it, but, yeah, I mean, it's just lack of execution and finding ways to make plays that really just hurt us.
Did you get trouble sorting out their pressures in the second half?
Yeah, I think we didn't do as good of a job, picking that stuff up, and it kind of hurt us, not being able to, pick those up and make those big plays down the field. So, it's something that, like I mentioned before, we'll look at, but it definitely hurt us.
On the play with 7 seconds left, when the snap gets dropped, are you trying, and Matt had mentioned that you might be trying to go to some outside play there to pick up 8-10 yards. Was that the plan on that play, just to pick up a quick 8 to 10 if they gave you the coverage you wanted, or was that play always going to be a shot play into the end zone?
No, we had a play called, to be able to take a shot to the end zone, and then, depending on the coverage they're playing, how soft they were, trying to pick up a easy couple yards to the sideline. So that's what we went to. And, when I fumbled the snap and, couldn't get that, it kind of turned into last-second Hail Mary.
Matt just said that the team as a whole needs to do a better job staying composed, and he said you guys were disheveled. We've heard a lot. You guys are still young, but you have that playoff experience. Why do you think that this team doesn't have that composure in some of these big moments still?
Yeah, I don't think we don't have the composure. I think it's just a situation we put ourselves in, jumping out to a lead and doing what we wanted in the first half, and then second half kind of a completely different story. So, I think for any team that's going to be frustrating, and you got to find ways to be able to, overcome that and, get back to it. And I think we did, but it was just a little too late. But I think it's just part of the situation we put ourselves in.
Jordan, we always say the quarterback gets too much credit, too much blame. When you do what you did tonight, you did a lot of really, really good things. And the other staff is probably killing you. How do you walk out of here tonight feeling personally and as a team?
Oh man, it's tough and very disappointing. I think everybody in that locker room feels the same way. We had a game where we couldn't finish it and let a team come back and beat us. So it's very disappointing to end the season on a note like that. So yeah, everybody's very disappointed. I'm very disappointed. That's it.
Jordan,
all right, there is some of Jordan Love from earlier today after that one. Packers lose this one 31-27. Season is over. Don't forget tomorrow morning, 8 to 10. Mitch Thunder, Nellis, Tommy Wirtz. We'll be taking your calls, your reactions. That's only 7 hours away. Those guys will be right here where Josh Albrecht and I are. And then don't forget Green and Gold Monday, whether it's in Wausau or Duluth or Superior or in Green Bay and Appleton on WNFL or in Milwaukee. Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor Thomas and Josh Albrecht, 6 to 9, 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. Also, don't forget another programming announcement as we add more local programming to our lineup, a homecoming of sorts to be announced during 9 to noon coming up on Monday. Noon to 2, Mason Crosby show along with Mitch Thunder Nellis, brought to you by Verizon. My show from 2 to 5, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. Then, of course, 5 to 6, Tommy Wirtz with Wisconsin Sports wrapping up the day. Would you say, Josh Albrecht, that when we are here Monday and you kick things off at 6 a.m., and by the time we get done with the show at 6 p.m. on Monday, do you think Matt LaFleur still will have his job?
Yes. Doesn't mean that I want him to or that I think he should, but he will have his job.
Yeah,
and it's going to be super disappointing.
I just don't see it. And listen, Ryan Wood, when he was on earlier from the Green Bay Press Gazette Packers beat writer, pretty much laid out like he can see a way of how you can justify moving on and being done with it. Like, this one is hard to come back from if you're the Packers, if you're Ed Policy and so forth. The one thing about Policy that we don't know is how emotional does he get on wins and losses? How reactionary does he get on wins and losses? Josh Albrecht, very reactionary, very emotional. True. I tend to be the same way. Very reactionary, very emotional in day-to-day living. That's just who I am, right? But if you're Policy, can you be that way and be good at what you do? Or do you have to have patience, look big picture, let things play out, let the process happen before you make your decision? I don't know Ed Policy, so I don't know how this is going to play.
Well, here's the one thing that Ed Policy has going for him. If he wanted to actually make that splash and make the move, right, is that he didn't hire LaFleur. For some reason, when it comes to these guys in the front office, they all look at like, well, if I made this move, I got to stick with it, right?
Correct.
We either go down, we either succeed together, or we go down with the ship together.
Yep.
He doesn't have to.
Nope.
You're with the old crew.
Mark Murphy's name technically is on that ticket.
Correct. So Ed Policy could choose to say, hey, I'm here. I said I'm not guaranteeing anything. And didn't you like Ryan Wood said, you didn't get past the goalpost. You missed the mark. And he could move on. He has the ability to. I'm just curious if Ed Policy is going to be just as soft as Matt LaFleur was.
We don't know. He doesn't look to be a soft dude. I mean, as far as you look at what the dude looks like, how he carries himself, he seems more of a shrewd businessman than maybe Murphy did. When you saw Murphy walking around the stadium, you're like, he's like one of us. He's just a chilled, laid back dude or whatever.
Yep.
Policy looks buttoned up with his stylish suits and all of that stuff. And you don't know if he's going to be more of a cutthroat guy than Murphy was.
I still don't. I can tell you this. I would be stunned if Brian Gutekunst lost his job. I think that Goody did everything that he could.
I've heard no talk of him getting extended by anybody.
Getting extended or getting let go?
Getting extended.
Well,
they talked about LaFleur getting extended today, but they've said nothing about Brian Gutekunst.
Well,
and
I
you
would be
think,
stunned.
You would think that he gets extended based on the fact that he got the Micah Parsons deal.
Correct. He, on paper, put together the team that he needed to. Matt LaFleur just couldn't get them to perform.
Right. Well, and again, how much of an excuse will the injuries be for Ed Policy that he'll say, hey, man, considering everything that we went through and all the injuries that we had, we did pretty good. Because that's pretty much what he said on the Packers website last week. Go back and look at his comments. He praised Matt LaFleur and the Packers coaching staff for overcoming so many different things that they had to battle through this year. And if you read that, it pretty much reads as, hey, what did you expect with all these injuries? That's what it read like to me. So if that was his philosophy coming into this game, you would have to think that's going to be the philosophy making the final decision at the end of the day. He's Josh Albrecht. Catch him on Inside Wisconsin Sports Monday morning, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. with Trevor Thomas. I'm Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. Catch me Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's Monday afternoon from 2 to 5 with my guy Charlie Usen producing that show. Enjoy the rest of your night. Packers lose 31-27. Good night.